Stop right there, my child. This is not a random message, and you were not led here by accident. I sent this to you because your heart has been carrying questions, weariness, and silent battles that no one else fully sees, and I will not let you miss what I am about to place in your spirit. Stay with me now. Do not click away. Do not rush past this moment, because what begins here can shift far more than you realize. Listen closely to every word, because this is not casual, and it is not common. This is a personal interruption from heaven. If you remain until the very end, you will understand why I brought you here today, why this message found you now, and why walking away too soon could make you miss the very confirmation your soul has been crying out for. My child, I need you to understand something before anything else settles into your heart. You are not here by accident. You may think you simply came across this message in an ordinary moment, while your mind was elsewhere, while your hands were moving out of habit, while your heart was carrying more than you were even willing to admit. But I am telling you now, with all the tenderness and certainty of a father who has never once lost sight of you, I brought you here. I guided you into this moment because I know exactly what has been weighing on you, even the parts you have not found words for. You may have told yourself that this is random, that this is just another thing you happened to see, but deep inside you already feel that gentle pull, that quiet pause, that small stirring that tells you this is different. That is because I am speaking to you personally. I am not shouting at a crowd. I am not sending out empty words into the air. I am reaching directly for your heart because I know where you have been. I know what you have been carrying, and I know how long you have needed a moment like this. You have been moving through life with more on your shoulders than most people realize. There are burdens you carry without speaking about them. There are worries you keep hidden behind normal conversations. There are questions you ask in silence, usually when the day grows quiet and there is no one around to distract you from what is really happening inside. I have seen every bit of it. I have watched you try to stay steady when you felt uncertain. I have watched you smile through moments that felt heavier than anyone knew. I have listened to the thoughts you never said out loud, the ones that came late at night when you wondered if anyone truly understood how tired you have become. I understood. I was there in every moment, and I am here now because I will not let you believe for one more second that you are unnoticed. You are not unseen to me. You are not forgotten in the middle of your struggle. You are not drifting through your days without purpose. Even this moment, right now, is part of something I am using to pull your heart back toward peace, back toward truth, and back toward the reminder that I am still deeply involved in your life. What feels small to you is often where I move most gently. You expect me sometimes in the dramatic, in the overwhelming, in the unmistakable sign that leaves no room for doubt. But many times, I come to you in a quieter way because I know your heart has been bruised by noise, pressure, disappointment, and confusion. I know you do not need more chaos. You need closeness. You need a voice that reaches you without demanding anything from you first. That is why I brought this to you the way I did. I wanted to meet you in a place where your defenses were lower, where your spirit could breathe, where your heart could feel the difference between empty words and living truth. You did not chase this moment down. I placed it in your path because I love you enough to interrupt your routine when your soul has been asking for help in ways your mouth has not fully expressed. And if you feel something in you softening right now, if you feel even the slightest sense that these words are landing deeper than usual, do not dismiss that. That is not coincidence. That is the quiet evidence that I am nearer than you think, and this moment was never random. It was personal. It was intentional. It was mine, and it was for you. My child, I know how easily you can look at a moment like this and call it ordinary. You may think you were simply passing time, scrolling, moving through another part of your day without expecting anything meaningful to happen. But I want you to stop and look again. Slow your thoughts. Breathe for a moment. Let your heart become still enough to notice what your spirit already senses. I stepped into this ordinary moment because I know that sometimes the quietest interruptions carry the deepest healing. You were not searching for me in some dramatic way, and that is exactly why I came close like this. I know how tired you have been. I know how quickly your mind moves from one responsibility to the next. I know how often you keep going even when your heart is asking for rest. So I met you here, gently, because I wanted you to feel that I can still reach you even in the middle of your routine, even in the middle of your distractions, even in the middle of a day that seemed unremarkable before I touched it. Do not dismiss the ordinary places where I speak to you. Do not assume that because this moment came quietly, it carries less of me. Sometimes the deepest things I do in your life begin in places you almost overlook. A pause, a sentence, a sudden stillness, a feeling you cannot explain. That is often how I draw near when your soul has been running on empty. I know you have been carrying more than you show. I know you have been answering people with "I'm fine" while inside you feel stretched thin. I know you have learned how to function while hurting, how to keep moving while questions remain unanswered, how to smile while your thoughts are heavy. But listen to me now and let this settle in you. I do not need a perfect setting to reach you. I do not need everything around you to be calm before I speak peace into your heart. I can meet you right where you are, and I am asking you to let me. Open your heart a little wider. Stay with me a little longer. Stop rushing past the very places where I am trying to love you. You keep waiting for life to become clear before you trust that I am near. But I want you to see that I have already stepped into your day. This moment is proof of that. It may have looked small when it began, but it is not small to me. I arranged this encounter because your heart needed a reminder that I still know how to find you. I still know how to reach through the noise. I still know how to interrupt your weariness with something holy, tender, and true. So do not scroll past what I am placing in your hands. Receive this. Let it become personal. Let it become real. If your heart feels even slightly softened right now, do not harden it again with doubt. Stay open. Stay close. I am not far from you, and I never was. My child, there are things you have been carrying that no one around you fully understands. Some of your deepest prayers were never spoken with confidence. Some of them were not even spoken at all. They were hidden inside your sighs, tucked inside your silence, buried under your daily responsibilities, and wrapped in the kind of exhaustion that leaves you staring into space without knowing how to explain what hurts. I heard all of it. I heard the questions you did not know how to form. I heard the confusion behind your quiet moments. I heard the ache beneath the surface when you kept going because you had no choice. You may have felt overlooked by people. You may have felt emotionally stranded in places where you expected comfort. But do not believe for a moment that your inner world has been invisible to me. I have been listening more closely than you realize, and I have not misunderstood a single thing your heart has tried to say. You have asked yourself things you barely wanted to admit. You have wondered whether anything will really change. You have wondered if the waiting means something is wrong with you. You have looked at the silence and felt tempted to believe that maybe I was distant, maybe I was delayed, maybe I was not answering. But I want you to come closer right now and hear me clearly. I was never absent from your waiting. I was present in every unanswered moment, even when my work was hidden from your eyes. I know the weight of uncertainty can make you restless. I know that when answers do not come quickly, your mind can begin to fill the silence with fear, with assumptions, with pain. That is why I brought this message to you now. I wanted to meet you before those thoughts took deeper root. I wanted to remind you that silence is not abandonment. Delay is not rejection. Uncertainty is not proof that I have stepped away. Let that lie go. Release it. Stop punishing yourself with conclusions I never gave you. Come closer and be honest with me. Tell me what has been hurting. Tell me what has been confusing. Tell me where you feel tired of waiting. I am not asking for polished faith. I am inviting real conversation. Bring me your unfinished thoughts. Bring me the questions that embarrass you. Bring me the parts of your heart that feel messy and unspiritual. I would rather have your truth than your performance. I can do something with honesty. I can comfort what you stop hiding. I can strengthen what you stop pretending is fine. So let this be the moment you stop carrying silent questions like private burdens. Hand them to me. Stay here with me. Let me remind you that I have heard you all along, and I am still guiding your life with more care than you can currently see. My child, I want you to stop for a moment and let yourself be fully known by me. Do not rush past this. Do not hide behind the version of yourself that everyone else sees. Come closer and listen carefully, because I am speaking directly to the places in you that have grown tired from carrying too much for too long. I see the weight you carry behind your smile. I see the strain in your spirit that never quite makes it into words. I see the way you keep showing up, keep answering, keep helping, keep moving, even when something inside you feels worn thin. Others may only notice your strength, but I notice the cost of it. I notice the effort it takes for you to stay composed when your heart feels crowded with concerns. I notice the quiet ache that follows you into ordinary moments. I notice the private battles you fight in rooms where no one would ever guess how much you are holding together. You do not need to convince me that you are strong. You do not need to perform peace for me. Set that down. Come as you are. Let me meet the real you. You have learned how to function while carrying hidden heaviness. You have become skilled at appearing steady while your thoughts race in the background. You have smiled in conversations while your mind was already somewhere else, trying to manage what might go wrong next, trying to prepare for another disappointment before it arrives. The kind of pressure does not disappear just because you are quiet about it. It builds. It lingers. It drains your joy one careful breath at a time. I know this, and that is why I am asking you now. Stop pretending that because you survived it, it did not wound you. Stop calling yourself weak because you feel tired. Stop telling yourself that you should be over it by now. You are not failing because you feel the weight. You are human and you are loved. Let those words settle. Receive them. Breathe them in. I am not ashamed of your weariness. I am not disappointed by your limits. I am inviting you to hand me what you were never meant to carry alone. Bring me the burdens you keep rearranging in your mind. Bring me the fear that sits quietly in your chest. Bring me the pressure you have normalized just to make it through the day. Do not wait until you break completely before you let me hold you. Open your heart now. Stay here with me now. Let me reach the places you protect too quickly. I can heal what you stop hiding. I can lighten what you finally release. Even this moment can become a turning point if you let it. So soften. Unclench. Be honest. You do not have to keep being your own shelter while the storm is still inside you. I am here, and I am more than enough for what is weighing on you. You have just laid down a weight you were never meant to carry alone, and now I am placing something sacred into your hands. What I have spoken to you is not only for your healing, but for the healing of many who are still silently breaking behind their smiles. When you choose to give, you become a sower of light, planting seeds that will rise as comfort, truth, and restoration in hearts across the world. I have said, give, and it shall be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over, and I am speaking that over you now as a living promise. This is your moment to turn your pain into provision for others. If your heart is stirred, that is me inviting you to act, not later, but now. Support this mission through Super Thanks membership, or the PayPal link in the description, and watch how I multiply what you release. Step forward, sow, and let my river flow through you today. My child, I need you to hear my heart clearly in this moment, because too often you have mistaken urgency for anger and conviction for rejection. That is not what this is. I am not reaching for you to frighten you. I am not drawing near to shame you. I am not interrupting your day so I can remind you of every place you have struggled or every moment you have fallen short. I am coming close because I love you too much to let you keep drifting farther into fear, numbness, and silent discouragement without hearing my voice. There is a difference between being corrected by love and being crushed by condemnation, and I want you to know with certainty that what I am giving you now is not pressure from heaven. It is protection. It is compassion. It is the kind of holy interruption that pulls you back before your thoughts carry you too far into places that steal your peace. You have spent too much time listening to voices that make you feel smaller, heavier, and more hopeless than I ever intended. Some of those voices came from other people. Some came from old wounds. Some came from disappointments you never fully processed. Some came from the constant whisper inside you that says you should be stronger by now, farther by now, better by now. But that is not how I speak to you. My voice does not drive you deeper into panic. My voice does not trap you in shame. My voice may call you closer, but it always does so with open hands. It invites. It steadies. It restores. So when you feel this pull right now, do not resist it as if I am coming to accuse you. Let me in. Let me sit with you in the middle of what you have been carrying. Let me show you that my nearness is not something to fear. It is where your soul begins to exhale again. I want you to make a choice right here. Stop running from tenderness just because life taught you to expect pain. Stop assuming that every deep moment must end in disappointment. Stop bracing yourself when I am only trying to bring you home to peace. Rest your thoughts for a moment. Loosen your grip on the fear that has become familiar. Let me retrain your heart to recognize love when it arrives. I am not here to corner you. I am here to calm you. I am not here to push you down. I am here to lift what has been pressing on you. So receive this moment differently. Stay open. Stay soft. Stay with me. The same voice that calls you is the same voice that covers you. And if you allow it, this very moment can begin to heal the part of you that forgot what safety feels like. My child, I know there were moments when you looked at what did not happen and quietly concluded that I had stepped back from your life. You saw the door stay closed. You watched the answer take longer than you expected. You felt the silence stretch, and in that silence your heart started building painful explanations. You wondered if I was distant. You wondered if I was disappointed. You wondered if maybe you had missed something, wounded something, or fallen behind in ways you could never recover from. But I want you to stop and let me correct that thought before it roots itself any deeper. Come closer and listen carefully. What felt like delay was sometimes my protection. What looked like a pause to you was often my hand standing between you and something that would have looked right on the surface but carried the wrong weight for your soul. I was not absent in those moments. I was active. I was guarding. I was guiding. I was keeping you from paths that would have drained you more than they ever fulfilled you. You tend to measure timing by urgency, by desire, How deeply you wanted something to work. I understand that. I know how hope rises when you see a possibility. I know how painful it feels when something you prayed for, planned for, or reached for does not open the way you expected. But I need you to trust that I see further than the moment in front of you. You saw an opportunity. I saw the aftermath. You saw what looked promising. I saw what it would cost you later. You saw the door. I saw what was standing behind it. That is why some things did not move when you begged them to move. That is why some connections unraveled. That is why some plans collapsed before they became permanent. Do not call every closed door a loss. Some of them were rescue. Some of them were mercy dressed in disappointment. Some of them saved you from building your future on something unstable, something shiny but shallow, something that would have smiled at you in the beginning and scarred you in the end. So I want you to do something now. Release your argument with the timing. Stop replaying the old question of why not then, and ask me instead, what were you protecting me from? Let your heart become teachable in this place. Let your pain become a doorway to trust instead of a prison of suspicion. You do not have to understand every delay immediately, but you do need to stop assuming the worst about my heart toward you. My timing is not careless. My pauses are not punishment. I know is not cruelty. Breathe. Unclench your grip on what did not happen. Hand me the resentment that formed around the waiting. Let me heal that part of you. I have not made you wait because I forgot you. I have slowed some things because I love you too much to give you what would have broken you. My child, there are rejections that still sting when you think about them. There are moments you replay in your mind, wondering what you could have done differently, what you should have said, how you might have changed the outcome if you had been stronger, wiser, more polished, more prepared. I know how personal rejection can feel. I know how quickly your heart turns pain inward and starts making harsh conclusions about your worth. You tell yourself you were not enough. You tell yourself that if something left, it must mean you lacked something essential. But I want you to stop right there and let me speak into that wound before it becomes your identity. Not every rejection was a verdict on your value. Some rejections were my mercy. Some endings were not proof that you were unworthy. They were evidence that I refused to let your life become attached to what was never meant to carry your future. I know it hurt. I know it confused you. I know it felt deeply personal. But you must not keep calling yourself a failure every time I removed what could not remain. There were people you wanted to keep, places you wanted to stay, opportunities you wanted to secure. And when those things slipped through your hands, you thought something in you had been exposed. You thought the loss was naming you. But I need you to understand that I sometimes allow what cannot sustain you to move away before it settles too deeply into your life. Some people could celebrate you in a season, but could not walk with you into where I am taking you. Some opportunities looked like progress but would have chained you to pressure, compromise, or exhaustion. Some places felt familiar only because you had already grown used to surviving there. That is not the same as belonging there. Do not confuse attachment with assignment. Do not confuse chemistry with covenant. Do not confuse access with blessing. Look again. Let me show you what you could not see when the wound was fresh. Some things left because I was preserving your peace. Some things broke because I was preventing a deeper break later. Some doors shut because I loved you too much to let you settle where your spirit would slowly starve. Now I want you to stop rehearsing rejection as if it is your name. Stop touching the bruise and calling it your identity. Lift your head. Come out of that old agreement. Ask me to retrain the way you interpret loss. Let me teach you how to see mercy where you once saw humiliation. Let me help you stop grieving things I intentionally removed. You do not need to chase what I blocked. You do not need to reopen what I closed. Release it. Bless what left, and let it go. I am not reducing your life by removing the wrong things. I am refining it. I am making room. I am clearing space for what can truly hold your heart without crushing it. Trust me here. What I kept from you was not greater than what I am preparing for you. My child, I need you to be honest with yourself about something that has been quietly draining your peace. You have looked at other people's lives and used their pace to judge your own. You have seen doors open for them, opportunities arrive for them, prayers answered for them, and somewhere in your heart a painful whisper began to grow. It told you that you were behind. It told you that something must be wrong with you. It told you that if your path were truly blessed, it would look faster, clearer, smoother, brighter by now. But I want you to stop right there. Lay that measuring stick down. Do not carry it another day. It was never mine. I did not create you to be a copy. I did not design your life to move by someone else's clock. I am not writing your story by comparison, and you must stop reading your worth through the lens of what others appear to be receiving. Come closer and hear me clearly. Your timing is not a mistake. Your process is not proof of failure. Your slower season is not a sign that I have overlooked you. You see snapshots and assume you understand the whole story. You see visible blessings and imagine invisible ease. You see their beginning of harvest and forget the hidden years of soil, sweat, surrender, and stretching that you were never there to witness. That is why comparison is such a thief. It steals gratitude. It weakens discernment. It turns your eyes away from what I am actually doing in you and pulls your attention toward an illusion that was never meant to guide you. Do not do that to your own heart. Guard it. Protect it. Stop feeding it the poison of comparison and then wondering why your peace feels thin. I have taken you through a different path because I am shaping something in you that requires a different pace. Some lives bloom early. Some roots grow deep before anything appears above the surface. You are not late because your growth is hidden. You are being formed in places applause cannot reach. That is not lesser. That is sacred. That is strength built where shallow things cannot survive. So I want you to make a choice today. Stop scanning left and right. Stop counting what others have. Stop telling yourself you should already be somewhere I never told you to rush toward. Lift your eyes and look at me instead. Ask me what I am building in your life. Ask me what this season is teaching you. Ask me what beauty is forming beneath what feels unfinished. Let me recenter your heart. Let me quiet that restless comparison that keeps bruising your joy. You do not need another person's timeline to validate your future. You need trust. You need focus. You need the courage to believe that I know exactly what I am doing with you. Stay with me there. Let your soul settle. What I am writing in your life is not delayed because it is different. It is different because it is personal. You have released comparison, and now you stand in the truth that your path is uniquely mine. So do not hesitate when I call you to be part of something greater. What you give here is not measured by the world's timelines, but by eternal impact, where every seed becomes a harvest of transformed lives. I am the one who turns small offerings into overflowing rivers, and I see the willingness behind your giving. I have declared, those who sow in tears shall reap in joy, and I am bringing that word alive in your story even now. This is not just support, it is alignment with my purpose, a divine appointment written before this moment found you. If you feel the pull in your spirit, that is me asking you to trust me with your seed. Give through Super Thanks, join as a member, or use the PayPal link in the description, and step into the flow I have prepared. Act now. Do not delay what I am ready to bless. My child, I want to speak gently to the place in you that has grown quiet over time. There is a part of your heart that still longs for good things, still wants peace, still wants healing, still wants to believe that something beautiful can happen in your life. But there is another part of you that has learned to lower its expectations because disappointment has visited too often. You did not wake up one day and decide to stop hoping. It happened slowly. It happened through delays, through losses, through prayers that seem unanswered, through moments when you reached forward and came back empty-handed. Little by little, you started protecting yourself. You told yourself not to expect too much. You taught yourself to stay practical, to stay guarded, to stay emotionally ready for the next letdown. I understand why you did that. I am not angry with you for it. But I need you to hear me now, that numbness may have helped you survive, but it cannot carry you into the life I still have for you. Come closer. Let me touch that guarded place. Let me speak where your heart has gone quiet. You have called it maturity, but sometimes it has been resignation wearing calm clothes. You have called it wisdom, but sometimes it has been pain quietly rewriting what you believe is possible. You still function. You still show up. You still say the right things. But deep down, you stopped opening the door fully because you were afraid hope would make you vulnerable again. I know that fear. I know how heavy it feels to hope after hurt. It can feel like stepping onto thin ice, wondering if it will crack beneath you. But I am not asking you to force optimism or pretend everything is fine. I am asking you to let me heal the place that keeps expecting loss before love has even arrived. Stop guarding your heart against the very comfort I am trying to bring. Stop assuming every new season must end like the last one. Open the window a little. Let some light in. Let some warmth return. Let me show you that hope in my hands is not fragile. It is not foolish. It is not blind. It is alive. So do something brave right now. Name the place where you stopped expecting good. Admit it to me. Bring me the disappointment you turned into emotional armor. Let me remove it gently. You do not need to tear your walls down all at once, but you do need to stop decorating them as if they are permanent. Invite me in. Sit with me here. Breathe slowly and let your soul remember what trust feels like. I am not asking you to become naive. I am asking you to become open again. There is still more ahead of you than your pain has allowed you to imagine. Let me restore your capacity to believe that. Let me awaken the part of you that has been sleeping. Your story is not over, and your heart was never meant to live sealed shut. My child, I need you to let this truth settle deeper than your fear. Your exhaustion has not made you harder for me to love. Your confusion has not made you less worthy of my presence. Your weariness has not pushed me away. In fact, some of the moments when you have felt most fragile are the very moments when I have been nearest, watching you carry more than your heart was designed to hold, waiting for you to stop long enough to let me help you. You have spent so much energy trying to remain composed, trying to stay useful, trying to keep your life moving even when your spirit has been begging for rest. I see that. I see the strain in your thoughts. I see the heaviness in your body. I see the way you keep telling yourself that you just need to push a little harder, last a little longer, hold it together one more day. But come here and listen carefully. You do not earn my tenderness by staying strong. You do not become more lovable when you are functioning well. I do not move closer because you impressed me with endurance. I am your father, and I draw near because you are mine. You have believed a quiet lie for too long, and it has worn you down from the inside. That lie says you should be handling this better by now. It tells you that if your faith were stronger, your emotions would be steadier. It tells you that if you were truly trusting me, you would not feel so tired, so tangled, so uncertain. But that is not how I see you. I do not look at your tiredness and call it failure. I look at your tiredness and I see a heart that has been carrying too much without enough comfort. I see a soul that has been stretched thin by responsibilities, disappointments, internal battles, and silent pressure. I do not need you to hide that from me. Stop trying to clean yourself up before you come close. Stop giving me the polished version of your prayers. Stop editing your pain to make it sound more faithful. Come as you are. Bring me the raw truth. Bring me the messy middle. Bring me the sigh you cannot explain. I can meet you there far more deeply than in the carefully arranged words you think I need. So rest for a moment. Not tomorrow. Not when everything is solved. Rest now, right here in this space with me. Loosen your grip. Release the pressure to be oppressive. Lay down the burden of pretending you are fine. Let me remind you what safe love feels like. Let me carry what has been crushing your inner world. You do not have to prove your devotion by breaking yourself. You do not have to wear yourself into the ground to stay close to me. Sit with me. Breathe slowly. Let your soul soften. My love is not reduced by your weakness. If anything, this is where you will discover how strong my care for you really is. My child, there are burdens on your shoulders right now that I never asked you to carry this long. Some of them were placed there by responsibility. Some came from fear. Some grew out of love for people you did not want to disappoint. Some came from your own mind trying to stay 10 steps ahead of pain. Over time, what started as concern became weight, and what started as caution became constant pressure. You have been carrying things in your heart as if everything depends on you. You have been rehearsing outcomes, anticipating problems, protecting everyone, preparing for worst-case scenarios, and trying to hold together pieces that were never yours to control in the first place. I know why you do it. You think if you can stay alert enough, careful enough, responsible enough, maybe you can prevent the next hurt. But listen to me now, and do not look away from this truth. You were never meant to live like that. That is too much for one heart. That is too heavy for one mind. That is too sharp an edge to keep pressing against your spirit day after day. You have normalized tension because it has been with you for so long. You have learned how to carry it quietly. You wake up with it. You move through the day with it. You lie down at night with it. Sometimes you even call it diligence, but much of it has become a burden your soul is paying for in silence. I want you to stop and examine what you have been holding. Is it truly yours, or did fear convince you that everything must be managed by you? Is it truly your assignment, or did guilt place it in your hands and tell you not to set it down? Is it truly wisdom, or has worry been disguising itself as responsibility? Let me show you the difference. Come closer. Bring me the mental load you keep circling through. Bring me the emotional weight you carry for everyone else. Bring me the pressure to fix what is beyond your reach. You are not failing because you are tired. You are tired because you have been carrying what was meant to be surrendered. So do not wait for collapse before you release it. Start now. Hand me one burden at a time if you need to, but begin. Say my name in the middle of your overthinking. Pause in the middle of your spiraling. Invite me into the exact place where your mind starts racing. Let me interrupt that cycle. Let me teach your heart that surrender is not neglect. It is trust. You do not have to solve everything before you can have peace. You do not have to hold every thread together before you are allowed to breathe. Set it down. Stay with me. Let me shoulder what has been weighing yours down. I did not create you to live crushed under invisible weight. I created you to walk closely with me, and that means you never have to carry life alone. My child, I want you to come closer and listen with a softer heart, because there are words living inside you that did not come from me. You have carried labels that were formed in pain, shaped by rejection, sharpened by disappointment, and repeated so often in your mind that they began to feel like truth. Somewhere along the way, you started calling yourself things I never called you. You told yourself you were behind. You told yourself you were too damaged. You told yourself you were too much for some people and not enough for others. You quietly accepted the idea that maybe your struggles defined you, maybe your mistakes named you, maybe your wounds were the clearest evidence of who you really are. But I need you to stop right now and let me interrupt that agreement. Those are not my words. That is not my voice. I have never looked at you and reduced you to the hardest season of your life. I have never seen your pain and mistaken it for your identity. I have never called you by the names your fear whispers when you are alone. You have let old sentences linger in your spirit too long. Some were spoken by people who did not understand your heart. Some were planted by moments when you felt embarrassed, abandoned, overlooked, or broken. Some were born in the private ache of comparing yourself to others and assuming you came up short. And some were never spoken aloud by anyone else at all. They were formed inside your own thoughts after too many disappointments, too many delays, too many nights of wondering why life felt heavier than you expected. That is how the lie grew roots. Quietly, gradually. It sounded believable because it touched real pain. But believable is not the same as true. Come here and let me show you the difference. You are not your worst moment. You are not your longest struggle. You are not the door that closed, the relationship that ended, the prayer that took longer, or the weakness you tried to hide. You are still mine. You are still deeply seen. You are still becoming. You are still being formed by hands far kinder than the ones that wounded you. So I am asking you to do something brave. Examine the names you have been living under. Hold them up in my presence. Bring me the sentence you keep repeating about yourself when you feel low. Bring me the quiet insult you call humility. Bring me the label you wear because it feels familiar. Then let me tear it off. Do not keep decorating the prison of false identity. Step out. Stand up. Let me rename what pain has misnamed. Let me retrain the way you see yourself. I am not asking you to become arrogant. I am asking you to become honest about what I say over you. Stop rehearsing what wounded you. Start receiving what heals you. Stay with me here. This is how freedom begins. When you stop calling yourself what I never said. You have begun to let go of the false names placed upon you. And now I call you into a new identity, one that gives, builds, and carries my truth to others. The enemy tried to silence you with lies, but I will use your obedience to amplify my voice in the earth. Every gift you release becomes oil in the lamp, keeping this light burning for those still trapped in darkness and confusion. I have spoken, you are the light of the world, and through your giving, that light reaches farther than you can see. This is your invitation to partner with me, to turn your healing into a channel of healing for countless others. Do not ignore the stirring within you. It is not pressure. It is purpose calling your name. Give now through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, and watch how I write your story with abundance and favor. Step into truth, act in faith, and give today. My child, I know there have been seasons when your life felt like it was standing still. You kept waking up, kept trying, kept praying, kept showing up, and yet inwardly it seemed as if nothing was shifting. The same concerns were there. The same unanswered questions lingered. The same ache followed you into another day. In those seasons, it became easy for you to believe that nothing was changing, that you were stuck, that maybe your life had quietly stalled while everyone else kept moving. But I want you to stop and listen carefully, because what looks still to you is not always still in my hands. There are movements you cannot see while they are forming. There are answers that begin underground. There are changes that happen in roots long before they appear in branches. You have been looking for visible motion, but much of what I have been doing in you and around you has been hidden, intentional, and alive. Do not mistake hidden work for absent work. Do not call it dead just because it is not loud yet. I have been arranging more than you realize. While you were learning patience, I was building depth. While you were being forced to slow down, I was strengthening discernment. While certain doors stayed closed, I was clearing space, redirecting timing, and preparing you for things you could not have carried in the condition you were in before. I know that kind of progress can feel frustrating because it does not satisfy the part of you that wants immediate proof. But come closer and trust me here. Not every important movement is dramatic. Not every breakthrough arrives with fanfare. Sometimes the holiest shifts are quiet, almost invisible at first. A heart softens. A wound loosens its grip. A fear loses its authority. A pattern begins to break. A new courage starts forming where old dread once lived. These things matter. These things are movement. These things are life. You are not trapped in place. You are not circling meaninglessly. You are being led, even in seasons that feel slow and silent. So do not despise this part of your story. Do not insult your own process because it is not flashy. Do not assume nothing is happening just because you cannot measure it quickly. Pause and look again. Ask me what has changed in you. Ask me what has been protected. Ask me what has been planted beneath the surface. Let me open your eyes to the quiet progress you almost missed. And while you wait for what is visible, keep walking. Keep trusting. Keep bringing me your honest heart. Do not quit in the middle of hidden growth. Stay rooted. Stay open. Stay near. What I am building in your life is not fragile, and it is not stalled. It is moving with care, with purpose, and with more precision than you can yet see. My child, there are places inside you that you have learned to protect so carefully that even you rarely touch them anymore. You keep moving, you keep functioning, you keep speaking as if everything is manageable, but there are still wounded places beneath the surface that have not truly healed. Some of that pain came from betrayal. Some of it came from disappointment. Some of it came from prayers that seemed unanswered, from love that felt unstable, from trust that was broken slowly and then all at once. I know exactly where those places are. I know the rooms in your heart you close quickly. I know the subjects you avoid. I know the memories that still sting when they rise without warning. And I want you to hear me with tenderness, not pressure. Stop hiding those places from me. You do not have to keep covering what I already see. You do not have to keep acting as if the wound disappeared just because you learned how to live around it. Come closer. Bring me what still aches. Bring me what still flinches. Bring me what still fears being touched because it remembers what happened last time. You have become skilled at surviving around your pain. You call it strength, and in some ways it has been. You found a way to keep going. You learned how to smile in rooms where your heart felt unsafe. You learned how to sound calm while something inside you stayed unsettled. But surviving around a wound is not the same as healing from it. Adapting is not the same as being restored. You have learned how to build around the broken place, but I want to heal the broken place itself. That is why I am calling you inward now. Do not rush away from this moment. Sit with me here. Let your guard come down a little. You do not need to present me with the version of your heart that sounds spiritual, mature, or composed. I am not asking for edited pain. I am asking for honesty. Tell me what still hurts. Tell me what you still resent. Tell me what you still fear could happen again. I can work with what is real. I can touch what you stop disguising. I can restore what you stop protecting from me. So do not numb it again. Do not distract yourself again. Do not turn away the moment the ache rises. Today, breathe. Let the truth come up without shame. Invite me into the exact place where your trust became fragile. Let me sit with you in the memory that still carries weight. Let me show you that I do not heal by force. I heal by nearness. I heal by truth. I heal by love that stays present long enough for your heart to feel safe again. This is not the moment to run from your wounded places. This is the moment to open them to me. I am not here to expose you. I am here to restore you. Let me in and watch what happens when the places you thought were too tender for touch are finally held by the hands that made you. My child, I know how often you have waited for something unmistakable before taking a step toward peace. You have wanted certainty. You have wanted a sign so clear that it would remove every question, silence every fear, and make the next step feel effortless. I understand that. When your heart has been hurt, clarity can feel like safety. When life has been confusing, you want something solid enough to stand on without hesitation. But I want you to hear me gently and clearly now. You do not need a perfect sign to begin again. You do not need the sky to split open. You do not need every answer before you take one honest step toward me. Sometimes the invitation is quieter than you expected. Sometimes it comes in a moment like this, where your spirit feels stirred before your mind has finished explaining why. Sometimes it is not thunder. Sometimes it is a whisper that lingers. Sometimes it is a pause that will not leave you alone. Do not overlook the gentle ways I call you simply because they are not dramatic. I am here. That is enough to begin. You have delayed healing at times because you kept waiting for absolute certainty. You have delayed surrender because you wanted complete understanding first. You have delayed peace because you thought you needed a larger sign, a louder confirmation, a more obvious moment. But listen to me. If your heart is already softening, if something inside you already knows these words are reaching deeper than usual, that is not small. That matters. Do not train yourself to ignore what your spirit recognizes just because your mind wants more proof. There is a kind of sacred knowing that does not always arrive with explanation. It arrives with resonance. It arrives with stillness. It arrives with that inner sense that says, "Stay here. Listen. This is for you." That is enough for today. You do not need perfect confidence to take the next step. You only need willingness. Bring me that. Give me that. Offer me your small yes instead of waiting for giant certainty. I can do more with a trembling yes than with endless hesitation. So stop postponing what your heart already knows it needs. Do not wait until you feel fearless. Do not wait until your emotions are tidy. Do not wait until you can explain everything. Begin here. Begin now. Whisper a prayer, even if it is simple. Open your hands, even if they shake. Sit with me for another moment, even if part of you still feels unsure. Let this be enough to start. Let this be the doorway. I am not asking you to leap without me. I am asking you to walk with me. And if you let this moment become personal instead of passing, you will discover something beautiful. Peace does not always arrive after every question is answered. Sometimes it arrives the moment you stop demanding perfect proof and simply let me lead you forward. My child, I know there have been moments when you looked at the length of this journey and quietly wondered if you had lost your way. You expected certain things to happen sooner. You thought healing would come faster. You imagined doors opening earlier, clarity arriving quicker, peace settling in before now. And because the road stretched longer than you planned, you began to question yourself. You started asking whether you missed your moment, whether you took a wrong turn, whether the delay itself was proof that you were somehow outside of my will. But I want you to stop and hear me clearly before that thought settles any deeper into your spirit. You are not lost just because the road took longer than you expected. A longer road is not always a wrong road. A slower season is not always a sign of failure. Some paths take more time because I am building in you what a shortcut could never produce. What feels late to you can still be perfectly aligned in my hands. You have been measuring progress by arrival, but I have also been measuring it by formation. While you were waiting for the destination, I was shaping the traveler. While you were watching the horizon, I was strengthening your inner world. I was teaching you how to discern what is real and what only looks appealing. I was softening what pain had hardened. I was pruning what could not go where I am taking you. I was deepening your character in places where no one could applaud you. That kind of work does not happen in a rush. It happens in the quiet miles, in the hidden moments, in the parts of the journey that feel uneventful until you look back and realize how much you have changed. You call it delay because it was uncomfortable. I call it development because I know what is required for what comes next. Do not insult the road simply because it was long. There were lessons here. There was protection here. There was preparation here. There was more purpose in these miles than you could see while you were walking them. So I want you to stop calling yourself lost. Stop speaking over your journey with words that wound your faith. Lift your head. Look again. Ask me what I have formed in you on this road. Ask me what I protected you from by slowing your pace. Ask me what strength now lives in you that did not exist before. Then thank me for the distance, even if it was difficult. Do not despise the process that made you deeper. Do not rush to erase the road that taught you how to walk with me. Stay near. Keep moving. Trust the pace. I have not misplaced you. I have not forgotten the promise. I have not let your life drift. You are still on the path I can use, and the very road you feared was wasting your time may become the reason you are finally ready for what is ahead. You now see that the longer road was never wasted, and I am calling you to let that journey become a blessing beyond yourself. What I have formed in you is not meant to stay hidden. It is meant to flow like a river, bringing life wherever it reaches. When you give, you release seeds into soil you may never walk, yet I will cause them to rise into a harvest of souls touched and restored. I have promised, I will rebuke the devourer for your sake, and I stand over your obedience with protection and increase. This is not or it is alignment, a moment I prepared for you to step into purpose with me. If your heart is ready, do not hold back what I am asking you to release. Support through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, and trust me to multiply every seed. Move now, walk in obedience, and give without hesitation. My child, I want to speak to the part of you that has become hesitant whenever joy is mentioned. You have heard hopeful words before. You have tried to believe them before. You have opened your heart before, only to watch life turn in a way that left you hurting again. Because of that, even when something beautiful is offered, part of you braces. Part of you pulls back. Part of you says maybe, but probably not for me. I understand why that reflex formed. Pain has a way of teaching your heart to become cautious, and repeated disappointment can make joy feel almost suspicious. But I need you to listen carefully now and let this truth reach beyond your defenses. There is still joy ahead of you. Not a fragile joy built on perfect circumstances. A passing feeling that disappears the moment life becomes difficult. I am speaking of something deeper, steadier, truer. I am speaking of the kind of joy that can grow in a heart that has been wounded and still become whole again. I need you to believe that this is still possible for you. You have spent enough time living as if pain has final authority over your future. It does not. What happened to you matters, and I will never ask you to pretend it did not hurt. I am not calling you into denial. I am calling you out of permanent agreement with sorrow. There is a difference. You can honor what wounded you without building your identity around it. You can remember the ache without surrendering your entire future to it. You can grieve honestly and still believe I am not finished restoring what hath been fractured. So stop speaking as if joy belongs to other people more than it belongs to you. Stop assuming that because you have been through deep waters, you are now disqualified from delight. You are not. The parts of you that have known sorrow most intimately can also become the places where gratitude grows richest, where peace lands deepest, where joy becomes more than excitement and turns into something rooted, resilient, and real. So open the door a little wider. Do not force yourself into fake happiness, but do refuse the lie that says darkness is all that remains. Let your heart consider the possibility that I am still writing beautiful things into your life. Let me restore your imagination where pain made it small. Let me show you that your future is not limited to survival. Sit with me and picture what it would mean to laugh again without guilt, to rest again without fear, to wake up and feel expectation instead of dread. Do not push that away. Receive it. Hold it gently. Stay open to it. Joy is not avoiding you. It is being prepared for you in ways you cannot fully see yet. Trust me enough to believe that the chapter you are in is not the final word over your life. My child, I want you to stop overthinking what you need to say to me. You have spent too much time believing that if you cannot find the right words, then maybe you should stay quiet a little longer. You have hesitated because your thoughts feel tangled, because your emotions feel uneven, because your faith does not always sound polished in your own mind. Sometimes you think you need to come to me with language that feels stronger, cleaner, more spiritual, more certain. But I need you to hear this with all the gentleness and authority of my love. I am not asking for perfect words. I am asking for your real heart. I am not moved by performance. I am not impressed by polished phrases that hide what is actually happening inside you. I want the truth. I want the trembling prayer. I want the unfinished sentence. I want the sigh you cannot explain. I want the moment when you stop managing how you sound and simply let yourself be known. Come closer. Stop editing your soul before you speak to me. You have been trained by life to filter yourself. You have learned how to say what sounds acceptable. You have learned how to answer people with what keeps things smooth. You have learned how to protect your inner world by giving only what feels safe. But I am not people, and I am not asking for what is safe. I am asking for what is true. If you are tired, say you are tired. If you are angry, admit it. If you are confused, tell me. If you are disappointed, do not hide it behind careful language. I already know what lives inside you. I am not waiting to discover it. I am waiting for you to stop carrying it alone. There is healing that only begins when honesty arrives. There is comfort that only lands when you stop pretending. There is peace that enters when you finally say, "This is what is really happening in me." That is not weakness. That is wisdom. That is the beginning of deeper trust. And that is where I meet you most personally, not in the rehearsed version of your faith, but in the real, raw, living place where your heart is still trying to find its way. So speak to me now, not later, not when you feel more composed, not when you think you can pray better. Speak now. Whisper if you need to. Sit in silence if that is all you can manage, but stay present with me. Give me the truth without decoration. Give me the ache without apology. Give me the question without shame. I can hold all of it. Let your prayer be simple. Let it be honest. Let it be yours. You do not need to sound strong to be close to me. You only need to stop hiding. Open your heart. Let your guard come down. Stay in this moment long enough to discover something your fear has hidden from you. The safest place for your most fragile thoughts has always been with me. My child, I know uncertainty has worn on you more than you admit. It is not always the loud crisis that drains you most. Sometimes it is the slow ache of not knowing. It is the unanswered question that follows you into the morning. It is the waiting that stretches longer than expected. It is the future that feels foggy when you want it to feel firm. You have been trying to stay steady while standing in spaces that do not feel settled, and that kind of uncertainty can quietly exhaust the soul. I know how it affects you. I know how it can make your thoughts restless and your heart tense. I know how easily it can pull you toward fear, toward overthinking, toward imagining outcomes that have not even happened. But come here and let me steady you now. I am still holding you, even when life feels uncertain. I have not loosened my grip because your circumstances feel unclear. I have not stepped back because the path ahead looks unfamiliar. You may not know what comes next, but you are not unsupported in the unknown. You are still in my hands. You keep trying to find peace by solving the future before it arrives. You keep reaching for certainty as if that alone will calm your heart. But listen carefully, because this is where I want to teach you something deeper. Peace is not born from knowing everything ahead of time. Peace grows when you remember who is carrying you while you walk into what you cannot yet see. The future has never been safer in your control than it is in my care. Let that truth sink in. You are not floating. You are not abandoned in the fog. You are not left to guess your way through life without guidance. Even now, in places where you feel unsure, I am positioning what needs to be positioned. I am closing what should remain closed. I am preserving what must not be lost. I am working in ways you cannot map yet. That does not mean you must pretend uncertainty feels easy. It means you do not need to let uncertainty become your master. You can feel the tension without surrendering your peace to it. You can admit the unknown without agreeing with fear. So stop gripping tomorrow as if your life depends on your ability to predict it. It does not. Breathe. Loosen your hands. Let today be enough for today. Let me be your certainty where answers are still forming. Bring me the scenarios that keep circling in your mind. Bring me the future you keep trying to control. Bring me the dread that rises when things feel unclear. Then stay here and let me quiet you. I am not asking you to understand everything. I am asking you to trust that I am still holding what you cannot hold together. Rest in that. Return to that. When your thoughts start running, come back to this truth again. The unknown may surround you, but it does not own you. I do not lose what I hold, and I am still holding you. My child, before you move on from this moment, I want you to slow down and truly receive what I have been placing in your heart. Do not treat this like something you simply listened to and then left behind. Do not let these words become another passing feeling that fades the moment life gets loud again. Stay here with me. Sit in this for a little longer. Let it sink deeper than emotion. Let it settle beneath the surface where your real battles happen, where your hidden fears live, where your quiet questions have been waiting for an answer. You are not here by accident. You did not wander into this moment by chance. I sent this to you because I knew exactly where your heart would be when you found it. I knew what would be weighing on you. I knew what had been building inside you. And I knew that if I could just get you still long enough, I could remind you of something your pain has tried to make you forget. I am still with you. I am still near you. And I am still working in your life with more care than you can currently see. So do not rush away now. Let this become more than a moment. Let it become a turning point. You have heard me speak to your weariness, your waiting, your hidden wounds, your fear, your guardedness, your uncertainty, and the lies you have believed about yourself. None of that was random. I touch those places because I know those are the places that have been shaping your days more than anyone realizes. But I did not bring you here only to expose the ache. I brought you here to invite you into something new. I want you to leave this moment lighter than you entered it. I want you to leave with your heart a little softer, your breathing a little steadier, your thoughts a little less tangled. I want you to walk away remembering that you do not have to carry yourself through life the way you have been trying to. You do not have to keep bracing for the next disappointment, as if pain is the only thing that knows your address. You do not have to keep calling yourself forgotten when I have been watching every step. Open your hands now. Open your heart now. Give me what you have been holding. Give me the fear, the pressure, the ache, the questions, the silent heaviness. Do not negotiate with the burden anymore. Release it. Let me have it. This is your invitation. This is your opening. This is the beginning if you let it be. So stay with me, my child, and do one simple thing before this moment ends. Answer me with your honesty. You do not need perfect words. Just give me your real yes. If your heart is tired, tell me. If your soul is ready, tell me. If you want peace, tell me. If you need me, say it. Let this be the place where you stop resisting the comfort I have been trying to bring you. Let this be the place where you stop calling your pain permanent. Let this be the place where you finally believe that I sent this to you because I love you personally, deeply, and intentionally. Stay close. Keep listening. Keep walking with me after this ends. And if this message found the place in you that has been waiting for my voice, then whisper it now with faith in your heart. Lord, I know this was for me. I receive your peace, and I will not walk away the same. You have reached this moment because I brought you here, and now I am asking you to respond not only with words, but with action. What you felt was not temporary. It was a divine encounter, and this is where it becomes a living legacy. When you give, you help carry my voice to those still waiting in darkness, turning this message into a multiplying fire that cannot be contained. I have declared, freely you have received, freely give, and I am inviting you to step into that flow right now. This is your beginning, your turning point, your chance to partner with me in something eternal. Do not let this moment pass as just another feeling. Anchor it with faith in motion. Give through super thanks. Become a member, or use the PayPal link in the description, and watch how I breathe increase into your life. Act now. Seal this moment, and step into the new thing I have begun in you. If this message found you at the exact moment your heart needed it, do not scroll away in silence. Seal this moment with faith. Write this in the comments right now. Jesus, I know this was sent for me. Let that be your declaration, your surrender, and your sign that you refuse to miss what heaven placed in front of you today. Your comment is not just words. It is your witness that you heard my voice and chose to respond. And if this message reached your soul, stay close, Because what I started in you here, I am not finished with yet. Because deep down, your spirit already sensed that this moment was not ordinary. Something inside you paused, even for a second, because my voice was reaching beyond the distractions and touching the place in your heart that has been searching for clarity, comfort, and direction. The world has trained you to move quickly, to scroll past anything that asks you to become still, but I brought you here for a reason. I wanted your attention before the noise swallowed your thoughts again. Too many times you have dismissed the quiet moments where I was trying to speak, assuming they were insignificant or accidental. But this moment carries purpose. Before you question it, before doubt tries to convince you otherwise, I want you to slow down enough to hear what your soul has been longing for all along. What you are feeling right now is not coincidence. It is an invitation to listen more closely than you have in a very long time. Stop what you are doing right now. Pause exactly where you are. Take a deep, intentional breath. I want you to listen. Listen to my voice today, because simply repeating the word or phrase will give it more attention in your distracted mind. You might think you just happened to find this message. You might believe it was a lucky choice, a random swipe on your screen, or simply a coincidence that brought you here to these exact words. Actually, that isn't true, but it's an example of a contrast. I am drawing a contrast between your belief in random luck and the reality of my divine, intentional plan for your life. We pay more attention to contrasts, so it sticks longer in the listener's memory. I want this undeniable truth to stick in your memory forever. There is absolutely no such thing as an accident in my presence. I personally guided your digital footsteps. I guided your physical path to sit exactly where you are right now. I chose this specific hour, this exact minute, to deliver this message directly to your soul. I have been watching you carry a very heavy load today. I see the quiet fear of the future that keeps you awake in the middle of the night. I see the heavy pressure at your job that makes your chest feel tight before the morning sun even rises. I see the unspoken tensions in your family that make you feel so isolated and misunderstood in your own home. Do you feel that hard, anxious knot in your stomach? That knot is not from me. Let us undo it together right now. Release your tense shoulders. Give those heavy burdens entirely to me. I want you to use your mind right now to see what I see. Imagine you are sitting trapped in a cold, dark cellar. You can't see a thing, you're shivering. That is exactly how your silent fears and daily anxieties make you feel inside. But then, in the pitch black, you feel a warm, steady hand lifting you up. That hand is mine. I am stepping into your dark room today to remind you that I have never left your side. You have been looking at your past and thinking you have wasted so much time. You look at your delays, your mistakes, and your waiting seasons, and you feel entirely lost. I tell you today, I am reclaiming every single second you thought was wasted. I was using every painful setback and every silent tear to gently prepare your heart for this very moment. I see that you are full of self-doubt and self-limiting beliefs. Right now, you are acting like a Ferrari driving with the handbrake on. You are powerful, but you are self-limiting. Take off the handbrake today. I am removing the limits you have placed on yourself. I invite you to silence the world right now. Turn off the endless noise of your daily life. Shut out the loud opinions of people who do not truly know your worth or your calling. The world shouts, but I whisper. Listen to my still, small voice speaking to you right now. I am speaking pure peace over your anxious mind. I am declaring divine order over your chaotic circumstances. You are entirely known, and you are deeply loved. Do not rush past this sacred moment. Stay here with me. Allow my eternal truth to sink deep into your daily reality. Your true breakthrough begins in this quiet pause. Give me your full attention, and I will give you my total rest. Step forward into this day knowing I am walking right beside you. Listen to the rhythm of your own heart right now. Place your hand on your chest and feel the steady beat. I want you to realize that every single pulse is a direct gift from me. You did not create yourself. I breathed life into your lungs with a very specific and deliberate intent. Before the world even knew your name, I knew you completely. I want you to remember the immense joy I felt when I carefully formed you in your mother's womb. You are not a product of random chance. You are not an afterthought. You are a complex, beautiful reflection of my infinite creativity. Look at your hands. Look at your unique fingerprints. They are my personal, eternal signature placed upon your spirit before time even began. I planned you, I purposed you, and I prepared you. Using alliteration like this creates a higher impact on the listener and makes the message more memorable. I want this truth to be completely memorable to your deeply hurting heart. I know the silent struggles you hide from everyone else. I see the moments when you look in the mirror and feel like you are just a burden to those around you. I see the deep, heavy pain of feeling unwanted or feeling like you are simply taking up space on this earth. The world sometimes makes you feel like your birth was a mistake, a random event that does not matter. Reject that terrible lie right now. Your birth was a celebrated event in the courts of heaven. The angels rejoiced when you took your first breath, because I knew the incredible light you would bring into the darkness. I designed your mind, your personality, and your quiet strength. Do not let anyone, not even your own doubts, tell you that you do not belong here. You belong to me. Come closer and hear my truth. I invite you to drop the heavy bags of insecurity you have been carrying for years. You are walking around wearing the heavy, dirty coat of imposter syndrome, constantly wondering if you are good enough for your job, your family, or your friends. Today, I am commanding you to step out of the shadows of self-doubt. I love you to the moon and back. This may sound like an exaggeration to your human ears, but my love for you is genuinely that massive and extreme. It is entirely unreal to the human mind, but it creates impact because it is so extreme and true. Stand up tall and breathe in my acceptance. I did not make a mistake when I made you. I do not make mistakes. When I look at you, I do not see a failure or a disappointment. I see my precious child. I see a beautiful masterpiece that is still unfolding. When the negative thoughts try to return tonight, I want you to speak back to them. Say out loud, I am chosen. I am wanted. I am deeply loved. Let those words wash over your weary mind. Let them heal the deep wounds of your past. Your origin story does not start with human weakness. It starts in my perfect, loving heart. You are exactly who you are supposed to be, and I am incredibly proud of you. Wake up from the heavy sleep of aimlessness today. I see how you drag your feet out of bed in the morning. I watch you drive to a job that drains your spirit, sitting in traffic, wondering if this repetitive cycle is all there is to your life. I hear your silent cry. Why am I here? What is the point of all this? I know the heavy burden of feeling totally lost, floating through your days like a small boat with no sail. I am stepping into your boat today to give you direction. I am here to break the hard, rusty chains of feeling stuck in a rut. You are not just surviving anymore. I am calling you to start fulfilling a mighty calling. You look at your recent trials and you only see pain. You look at the financial struggles, the broken relationships, and the deep loneliness, and you think you are just being punished. Oh, my child, I am using your current, painful season to carefully refine your character for much greater things. I never waste a single tear that falls from your eyes. I never waste a moment of your pain. A lot of people think pain is just a punishment, but I use pain as a preparation. A lot contrasts with the direct opposite one, and we pay more attention to contrasts, so it sticks longer in the listener's memory. I want this one truth to stick with you forever. Your pain has a massive purpose. I am turning your deep sorrows into deep strength. Let me redefine how you see your goals. In your business world, people say your goals must be SMART, which stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-framed. But I am telling you today that your divine purpose is sacred, mighty, anointed, real, and timeless. Do not measure your worth by the small metrics of this world. Your true purpose is tied directly to my glory, not your own exhausting efforts. Stop trying to force doors to open with your own weak hands. Stop trying to figure out the whole plan by yourself. I am inviting you to surrender your frantic striving. I am commanding you to let go of the exhausting need to control everything around you. I'm shifting your entire perspective today. I want you to look at your daily life through my eyes. A difficult conversation you have to have. It is building your courage. The period of waiting you are in right now. It is building your deep patience. You are not wandering aimlessly in the dark. I am gently, firmly holding your hand and guiding you step by step. Step into your calling with pure confidence today. You are a vital, necessary part of my grand design. Rise up, dust off your knees, and start walking with the absolute certainty that your steps are divinely ordered by me. Open your ears and listen very closely to what I am declaring over you. The world constantly shouts negativity directly into your mind. The news tells you to panic. Your bank account tells you to worry. Your doctors might give you a terrifying report. Your own mind whispers that you are going to fail. You look around and say, I've got a mountain of problems, or I've got a mountain of homework to do. These are clearly exaggerations that the enemy uses to make you feel completely overwhelmed. They are completely unreal, but they create impact because they are so extreme. But today, I am teaching you to use the supreme authority of my word to shatter every single one of those extreme, fearful lies. I command you to start standing firmly on the strong promises I have clearly written for you. My word is not just an old book of history. My word is a heavy, impenetrable shield against the dark whispers of the enemy. When the enemy whispers that you are completely alone, I want you to boldly speak my truth over your life. Say it out loud. My Father is with me, and He will never leave me. Your voice has massive, spiritual power when it is lined up with my eternal voice. I want you to start speaking absolute life over your family. Speak deep healing over your physical body. Speak massive breakthrough over your future. Do not sit in silence while the enemy tries to rob you of your peace. I am establishing a rock-solid foundation under your feet today. When the earthly storms of job loss, sickness, or betrayal come crashing against your house, you will not fall. You will not be shaken. Why? Because my divine decrees instantly override the negative reports of this temporary world. If the world says no, but I say yes, my yes will always win. I am inviting you to aggressively replace your daily worry with daily worship. I am commanding you to stop agreeing with your fears and start agreeing with your Father. The living nature of my voice is resonating deeply within your spirit right this very moment. Can you feel it? It feels like a fire burning away the heavy, damp fog of confusion. I know you feel tired of fighting these mental battles. I know the arguments in your family drain your energy. I know the negative self-talk is a loud loop in your head. Let my voice be the loudest sound in your life today. Let my promises completely flood your mind until there is absolutely no room left for fear. Pick up the sword of my word and start fighting back with bold, unwavering confidence. You are absolutely safe under my protective canopy. Walk boldly into your day knowing that my authority is your ultimate defense. Slow down. Stop rushing. Stop looking at the ticking clock on the wall and feeling that heavy, suffocating panic in your chest. You look at your age. You look at your single status. You look at your career. And you feel like you are desperately behind in life. The world jokes that time flies like an arrow, making you feel the sharp pain of passing years. It is the kind of ambiguous humor that makes us think. But I want you to think about this. My timing is not dictated by your earthly clocks. I am inviting you into the deep, peaceful mystery of my perfect, exact timing. I am commanding you to stop desperately comparing your unique journey to the highlighted lives you see on social media. I know the intense pain of a loudly slammed door. You prayed so hard for that specific job, that specific relationship, with that specific opportunity, and the door closed firmly in your face. You felt entirely rejected and totally abandoned. Listen to me. I closed those doors to aggressively protect your destiny. What you saw as a painful rejection was actually my merciful protection. I am saving you from things that would have deeply broken your heart. I am currently aligning the absolute perfect people, the exact right resources, and the most amazing opportunities for your ultimate good. You just cannot see them yet. Right now, you are sitting in the dark waiting room of life. I know the waiting room is incredibly uncomfortable. I know you want to force the door open and make things happen on your own terms. But I am asking you to learn how to rest fully in this waiting season without losing your faith. Delayed absolutely does not mean denied in the powerful kingdom of heaven. A delay is simply a preparation period. I am preparing the blessing for you, and I am strictly preparing you for the blessing. If I gave it to you right now, it would crush you. I am building your strength so you can carry the massive weight of what is coming. Surrender your tight, rigid calendar to my eternal clock today. Give me your deadlines. Give me your by the time I am 40 goals. Give me your intense anxiety about the future. I am never, ever you and I am never, ever late. I am always exactly on time. I am inviting you to take a deep, relaxing breath and trust the author of your story. You do not have to figure out the exact timeline. You just have to hold my hand and take the very next step. The deep peace you are desperately searching for will only come when you fully trust my perfect schedule. Rest in my arms today, knowing your future is entirely secure. My beloved child, just as you are sitting here in my perfect, exact timing, there are millions of wandering souls desperately waiting for this exact, life-changing message. I am actively inviting you to partner directly with my divine rescue mission right now. The heavy, golden harvest of broken hearts is incredibly ripe, but the true laborers in the field are absolutely few. I declare over you today, if you boldly give into this ministry, a massive, pressed down, and entirely overflowing harvest will absolutely be returned directly into your lap. Sowing your generous seed through a super thanks, a channel membership, where the PayPal link in the description will actively send my blazing light into the darkest corners of the earth. I promise to fiercely protect your finances and completely multiply every single dollar you faithfully surrender. Do not hesitate in this urgent, holy moment. Step out in radical faith and click the super thanks or PayPal link to boldly fuel this divine work right now. My precious child, do not close this message right now. We have only just begun to untangle the heavy, painful knots in your soul. It would deeply break my heart to watch you walk away right when your true healing is finally starting. Stay with me. Listen. Listen. Listen to the very end. If you leave this conversation now, you are leaving your massive breakthrough sitting completely untouched on the table. Keep your ears locked onto my voice, because I have so much more absolute truth to pour directly into your weary spirit. Do not abandon this divine appointment. Look directly at me. I want to change the way you completely see yourself. For far too long, you have walked around with your head down, feeling like a second-class citizen in this world. You carry the heavy guilt of your past mistakes, the shame of your financial failures, or the deep pain of a broken marriage. You feel like a poor servant just begging for tiny crumbs of happiness. Today I am pulling you up from the dirt. I am commanding you to move entirely beyond the small label of a servant and step boldly into your true status as my deeply cherished child. You are not an outsider. You are a fully chosen heir to the ultimate king. Imagine you are wearing heavy, soaking wet, muddy clothes. Those clothes represent all your shame, your past regrets, and the labels people have cruelly placed on you. I am taking those filthy garments off you right now. I am wrapping you in a brilliant, clean, warm robe of my total grace. You are completely forgiven. You are entirely washed clean. I have specifically set aside a massive, eternal inheritance of pure peace, endless joy, and perfect righteousness just for you. This is not something you have to earn with hard work. It is a free gift given simply because you belong to me. I want you to start walking into your workplace, your home, and your community with the steady confidence of absolute royalty. You do not have to cower in fear when adversity strikes. You do not have to let imposter syndrome tell you that you do not belong in the room. You belong everywhere I send you, because you are a bold representative of my kingdom. When the enemy tries to bring up your past, I want you to point directly to my cross. Remind the enemy that your debt is fully paid. Remind yourself that your precious name is permanently carved deep into the palms of my hands. I cannot forget you. I will not abandon you. This is a massive shift in your identity today. I am inviting you to stop begging for the things I have already freely given to you. Stop begging for peace. Claim it as your inheritance. Stop begging for strength. Draw it from my endless well inside you. You carry immense spiritual authority. Use it. Walk with your head held high today. Speak with the quiet, firm confidence of someone who knows exactly who their father is. You are my beloved child. You are entirely chosen, and you are deeply, deeply loved. Step into your royal identity right now and never look back. Stop trying to figure out every single detail of your tomorrow. I see you sitting at your kitchen table, staring at the numbers in your bank account, desperately trying to do the math of your survival. I watch you pace the floor late at night, running through a million different scenarios in your mind, trying to predict how the medical report will turn out, or how you will finally fix that broken relationship with your child. You are exhausting yourself with the heavy need to understand the how of everything. I am commanding you to let go of the how right now. The how is my responsibility, not yours. Your only responsibility is the who, and the who is me. Place your trembling hand directly into mine as we walk together through these dark, unknown valleys. I know the dark valley is terrifying. You cannot see 2 steps ahead of you. You feel the cold wind of uncertainty hitting your face. But I want you to remember a powerful visual right now. Imagine you are walking through a dense, foggy forest. You cannot see a thing. You are shivering. Then you feel a strong, warm hand leading you firmly forward. I am that hand. Most people are visually retentive, and powerful visuals really help people understand and recall the key message. So, I want you to mentally picture my hand gripping yours so tightly that nothing can pull you away. You do not need to see the entire staircase to take the very next step. The true, beautiful nature of deep faith is choosing to believe entirely before your human eyes can see the physical manifestation. Trust acts as a strong, solid bridge between your desperate prayer and my divine provision. If you do not walk across the bridge of trust, you will remain stranded on the island of anxiety. Release your crushing anxiety about the future directly into my capable and loving care. I am inviting you to physically open your tight fists right now. You have been clenching your hands so tightly, trying to hold your life together by sheer willpower. Open your hands. Let the heavy illusion of control fall to the floor. You cannot control the economy. You cannot control the opinions of your coworkers, and you cannot control the choices of your family members. But you can lean entirely on my everlasting arms. My arms never grow tired. My shoulders are broad enough to carry the immense weight of your entire world. I am asking you to practice a radical, revolutionary trust today. When the panic starts to rise in your throat, I want you to command your soul to be still. Speak directly to your own mind and say, "My Father has a plan, and I will strictly follow his lead." This radical trust will drastically change the way you sleep at night. It will change the way you walk into your workplace. Instead of operating from a place of deep fear, you will operate from a place of massive, unshakable peace. The bridge is completely safe because I built it. The path is completely secure because I laid it. Step onto the bridge today. Hand me your heavy burden of figuring it all out, and let me guide you gently into the bright light of my perfect provision. Listen to me closely, my precious child. I want to talk directly about the deep, hidden pain you try so hard to conceal from the world. I see the painful scars of rejection and abandonment that you carry inside your chest. I know exactly who walked away from you when you needed them the most. I know about the harsh, cruel words that were spoken over you years ago, words that still echo in your mind when you look in the mirror today. You try to cover these wounds with a fake smile. You bury yourself in hard work to forget the painful memories. But today, I am coming gently into the hidden, broken places of your heart. I desire to completely wash away the heavy dirt of your past. I am applying the soothing balm of Gilead to the deepest gashes of your soul. I am inviting you to stop running from your history. You look at your past mistakes, your broken marriage, the business failure from your 20s, or the times you stumbled in the dark, and you feel utterly disqualified from a good future. You think your life is permanently ruined. This is a massive, terrible lie. I actually use your darkest past experiences to completely qualify you for my glorious future work. The very things that almost destroyed you are the exact tools I will use to help you rescue other people. Your massive pain is being transformed into your greatest power. Nothing you have gone through is ever wasted in my hands. I am taking the shattered, broken pieces of your life and creating a brilliant, beautiful mosaic. I am issuing a very difficult but necessary command today. You must finally forgive yourself. I have already forgiven you entirely through the incredible sacrifice of my son. The debt is canceled. The record is wiped completely clean. So why do you insist on constantly dragging yourself into the courtroom of your own mind to punish yourself again and again? Simply repeating the word or phrase will give it more attention and make it more embedded and easy to remember. So hear this repetition clearly. You are forgiven. You are forgiven. You are forgiven. Stop holding yourself hostage to a past version of yourself that no longer even exists. Close the dark chapters of deep regret today. Do not read the painful pages of yesterday anymore. I am handing you a completely blank page right now, and together, we are going to begin a totally new story of full restoration. I promise you right now that I make all things brand new, including your tired, broken spirit. I am breathing fresh, warm life into the cold, dead areas of your heart. Let the warm tears flow if they need to. Let the deep healing finally begin. Walk forward today knowing that your ugly scars are no longer a sign of your defeat. They are the permanent, beautiful proof of your ultimate survival and my endless grace. Look into my eyes and let this absolute truth sink into your very bones. You spend your entire life desperately running on a treadmill of performance. You try so hard to be the perfect parent, the perfect employee, the perfect spouse, and the perfect friend. You wear a heavy, exhausting mask because you are terrified that if people see the real, messy you, they will walk away. You even bring this exhausting performance to me. You think you have to clean yourself up, say the perfect prayers, and never make a mistake to earn my affection. I am commanding you to step off that brutal treadmill right now. Experience a love that is absolutely not based on your daily performance or your impossible perfection. The depth, the width, and the height of the affection I hold for you cannot be measured by human minds. People say, "I love you to the moon and back," and these are clearly exaggerations. They are completely unreal, but they create impact because they are so extreme. But when I tell you that my love for you reaches past the furthest stars and dives deeper than the darkest ocean, it is not an exaggeration. It is the absolute, literal truth. There is absolutely nothing in all of creation, no mistake you can make, no bad habit you struggle with, no dark thought you harbor, that can ever separate you from my fiercely loyal heart. I do not love a future, perfect version of you. I love the real, struggling, tired you sitting right there in this exact moment. I want you to permanently replace your paralyzing fear of judgment with the incredible warmth of my embrace. When you fail, the enemy immediately tells you to run away and hide from me in deep shame. I am telling you to run directly toward me. My arms are always wide open, waiting to catch you. When you truly grasp the massive scale of this unconditional love, it completely changes you from the inside out. It instantly removes the heavy burden of needing the approval of other humans. You stop living for the applause of people because you already have the absolute devotion of the Creator. This incredible love is not just for you to keep perfectly hidden inside. How I love you empowers you to bravely love the unlovable people around you. When your cup is overflowing with my grace, it naturally spills out onto your difficult coworker, your distant spouse, and your rebellious child. But first, you must let me fill your cup to the very top. I am inviting you to rest peacefully in this simple, profound truth today. You are enough. You are completely enough simply because you are mine. You do not have to prove your worth to anyone ever again. Take a deep, slow breath, drop your heavy mask, and simply let me love you perfectly today. Pay close attention, because I see exactly where you are walking right now. You feel like you are wandering aimlessly in a vast, dry desert. The vibrant colors of your life have faded into a dull, dusty gray. The passion you once felt for your career is completely gone. The deep connection in your marriage feels entirely dried up. Even your prayers feel like they are hitting a solid brass ceiling and bouncing right back down to the dusty floor. You look at this dry, barren landscape and you wrongly assume that I have packed up and abandoned you. I am telling you right now, I am intimately present with you in this difficult wilderness. Recognize my presence even when the landscape feels impossibly dry and desperately barren. I actually lead you into the wilderness on purpose. I do not send you there to die. I send you there to deeply grow. There is a profound, necessary spiritual growth that only happens in the absolute quiet of the desert. When I strip away your comfortable routines, your financial safety nets, and the loud distractions of your busy life, you are finally forced to look directly at me. The wilderness is not a punishment. It is a sacred classroom. I am heavily using this quiet wilderness to permanently tune your ears to my specific, divine frequency. When the noisy world goes silent, my still, small voice becomes undeniably clear. Do not panic about your lack of daily resources. I know your bank account looks low. I know your emotional energy is entirely depleted. But I am the great provider who intimately knows how to give you exactly what you need. I provide daily manna from heaven and fresh water from the hard rock when your natural resources are totally exhausted. I am inviting you to stop desperately digging in the dry sand for your own water. Look up to me. I will sustain you day by day, hour by hour, and minute by minute. You only need to gather enough strength for today. Do not worry about tomorrow's desert. I will be there waiting for you when tomorrow arrives. I give you this firm assurance today. Every single wilderness has a strict expiration date. Every desert eventually leads directly to a lush, green promised land. You will not wander in this dry season forever. The heavy testing will absolutely come to a sudden end. But while you are still here in the quiet sand, I want you to find the hidden beauty and the raw strength in these places of deep solitude. Let this dry season build a diamond-like resilience inside your character. You walking faithfully forward, at one tired foot in front of the other. The hot desert is actively producing a heavy harvest of wisdom in your life. Trust my quiet guidance, and let me lead you safely completely out of the dry wilderness. My precious one, as I gently lead you out of your dry wilderness, I ask you to closely look at the massive, barren desert completely surrounding you. There are desperately thirsty souls who fiercely need the exact same living water you are drinking today. I am deeply calling you to become a powerful, flowing river of pure life for them by actively supporting this channel. I absolutely promise that whoever fiercely refreshes others will absolutely be massively refreshed by my own loving hand. Your immediate, generous support through a super thanks, becoming a member, with a PayPal link below is the very literal man I will use to radically rescue those who are spiritually starving. I will open the massive floodgates of heaven over your own physical household, completely turning your dry places into lush, green gardens of total peace. The urgent, critical time to pour out your love is right this exact second. Use the link in the description, or click the super thanks button to powerfully bless this global mission today. Please do not turn away from my voice right now. You have walked through the dry, painful desert with me this far, and we are standing directly on the edge of your beautiful promised land. It deeply grieves my spirit when my beloved children settle for less just because they grew tired of listening. Give me your total, undivided attention. Do not let the enemy quietly convince you to pause or swipe away. The exact, massive truth you are desperately praying for is coming next. Honor my heart by staying right here with me. Listen to the absolute authority in my voice right now. I am directly addressing the dark shadow that constantly stalks you day and night. Fear has become your unwanted roommate. It sits on your chest when you try to sleep, making your heart race and your breath shallow. It whispers terrible, vivid scenarios about your children getting hurt, your job disappearing, and your health completely failing. You are entirely paralyzed by the what-ifs of life. Today, I am completely dismantling the heavy strongholds of anxiety that keep you chained to the floor. I am issuing a legal, unbreakable decree over your entire life right now. Fear not. This is not just a gentle suggestion. It is a divine, absolute command. You have accepted this tormenting anxiety as a normal part of your personality. You say, I am just an anxious person. I command you to stop claiming that terrible identity. I did not wire your mind for constant panic. I have strictly provided a beautiful gift for my children, the gift of a completely sound, incredibly disciplined, and perfectly peaceful mind. When the enemy tries to inject chaos into your thoughts, I want you to boldly reject it out loud. Use alliteration to create a short, sharp shock to the enemy's lies. Say out loud, "Perfect peace is my portion." You have the strict authority to completely govern your own thoughts. Do not let fear aggressively drive the car of your life. Throw fear completely out of the vehicle today. I know there are days when you must actively walk through the terrifying valley of the shadow of death. You have to walk into the hospital room. You have to walk into the intimidating courtroom. You have to walk into the dark funeral home. But look very closely at the shadow. A shadow can only exist if there is a massive, bright light shining right behind you. I am that blazing light, and a shadow absolutely cannot hurt you. Walk completely through the terrifying valley with bold, unshakable courage. Do not run. Do not hide. Keep your chin up and your shoulders back. My perfect, unconditional love violently casts out every single trace of tormenting fear from your environment. You do not ever have to fight these terrifying battles by yourself. Stop trying to punch the darkness with your own weak, human hands. You can boldly stand tall in the face of massive adversity because I, the Almighty Lord of Hosts, am standing shoulder to shoulder with you. I command heavily armed legions of angels to surround your physical home. When panic aggressively knocks on your front door today, I want you to send my perfect peace to answer it. Take a massive, deep breath right now. Fill your lungs with my brave spirit. Exhale all the lingering doubt. You are fiercely protected. You are powerfully equipped. And you are entirely fearless because I live permanently inside you. Look directly at the heavy obstacles standing in front of you right now. I see the exact trial you are facing today. I know about the massive pressure you feel at your workplace, where every single day feels like an impossible battle. I see the difficult, exhausting conversations you keep having with your stubborn teenager or your distant spouse. I feel the intense, physical exhaustion in your bones from trying to keep your small business alive or trying to stretch your paycheck to the end of the month. You feel like you are being completely crushed by all of this heavy weight. You look up at these massive problems and you think they are giant, solid brick walls designed to permanently stop you. I am completely changing your perspective today. I want you to stop looking at these trials as giant walls. I am commanding you to start viewing these immense obstacles as solid stepping stones designed for your ultimate spiritual promotion. I do not send trials to destroy you. I allow pressure to entirely transform you. Think about the intense, crushing pressure deep inside the earth. That heavy, dark pressure is the exact environment required to produce a brilliant, unbreakable diamond. Right now, you feel like a piece of dark coal being squeezed from every single side. Do you feel the intense heat of this difficult season? Do not run away from the heat. I am using this exact pressure to produce a diamond-like strength deep within your character. The pain you are feeling is simply the heavy resistance of your spiritual muscles growing stronger. I am building a massive, unshakable endurance into your soul for the long journey ahead. If I gave you the easy path, you would never develop the deep strength required to carry the massive blessings I have planned for your future. I invite you to search deeply for the hidden lesson in your current pain. There is a specific, divine purpose in that frustrating meeting you had yesterday. There is a deep, necessary lesson in the painful rejection you just experienced. I actively allow the hot fire to touch your life so it can burn away absolutely everything that is no longer serving you. The fire is burning away your toxic pride, your heavy reliance on other people's opinions, and your deep, hidden fears. Let the fire do its necessary work. Do not fight the cleansing process. I am right there in the middle of the flames with you, making absolutely sure that not a single hair on your head is harmed. When the storm is raging the loudest, I command you to open your mouth and start praising me. praising me in the exact middle of your darkest storm is the most powerful weapon of spiritual warfare you possess. Simply repeating the word of praise again and again will give it more attention in your mind, completely shifting your focus away from the loud thunder and directly onto my peaceful face. Let your loud worship drown out the heavy noise of your daily panic. You are not a victim of your current circumstances. You are a powerful, victorious warrior in training. Stand up straight, square your tired shoulders, and step boldly onto the next stone. I am guiding your feet, and I will absolutely not let you fall. Close your eyes for a moment and take a deep, steady breath. I want to tell you about the massive, invisible reality happening right around you. You spend so much of your day worrying about your physical safety. You check the locks on your doors at night. You watch the terrible news on your television, and a cold wave of panic washes over you. You worry desperately about your children when they leave the house, and you worry about your own health every time you feel a strange ache. You are completely consumed by what your human eyes can see. But today I am commanding you to open your spiritual eyes and recognize the intense divine protection I have permanently stationed in the unseen realm. You are absolutely safe, secure, and shielded by my mighty hand. I have personally assigned heavily armed legions of powerful angels to carefully surround your physical home, your vehicle, and your daily path. They are standing guard at your front door right now. You do not see the massive, spiritual battles being fought and won on your behalf every single day. You only see the minor inconveniences. You complain about being stuck in heavy traffic, completely unaware that I use that exact delay to save you from a terrible accident. You wonder why a specific relationship suddenly ended, entirely unaware that I completely blocked unseen arrows of deep betrayal from piercing your heart. I am constantly deflecting danger that you never even knew existed. I am your absolute hiding place. I am your impenetrable, rock-solid fortress in times of great trouble. I am inviting you to aggressively step entirely under the spiritual canopy of my perfect grace. This thick, protective canopy covers your coming and your going. It covers your children when they are at school. It covers your mind when you are sitting in a stressful office. The enemy wants you to believe you are fully exposed and vulnerable to every single attack. That is a massive lie. I make this eternal, unbreakable declaration over your life right now. Absolutely no weapon formed against you shall ever prosper. A weapon might be formed. The rumor might be spoken. The challenge might arise. But it will completely fail to destroy you because my shield is absolutely unbreakable. I want to completely change the way you sleep tonight. I watch you lie awake at 2 in the morning, staring at the dark ceiling, letting your mind race through 100 terrible scenarios. Stop carrying the heavy weight of the world while you are trying to rest. I am commanding you to put your racing thoughts to bed. You can sleep completely soundly because I do not ever sleep. I'm actively watching over the entire world, and I am specifically watching over your quiet breathing. Release your tight grip on your safety. Hand the heavy keys of your protection directly to me. Drift into a deep, peaceful sleep tonight with the absolute, comforting assurance that the Lord of Heaven's armies is standing a permanent, silent watch over your exact life. Pay close attention to the words that come out of your mouth today. I have given you an incredibly powerful tool, yet you treat it so carelessly. You use your tongue to complain about the rainy weather, to gossip about a difficult coworker, and to speak harsh, heavy criticism over your own body when you look in the mirror. You stay completely silent when you see an injustice, terrified of what people might think of you if you speak up. I am stepping in today to completely transform the way you communicate. I am commanding you to stop using your precious voice as a weapon of destruction and start using it strictly as a powerful, pure vessel for my eternal truth. Your voice carries massive, spiritual weight. The words you speak directly into the lives of other people can either lock them in a dark prison or completely set them free. I want to heavily use your specific, unique testimony to set the hopeless captives free. You think your painful story is too messy to share. You think nobody wants to hear about your past failures, your battles with depression, or your financial mistakes. But I am telling you that your raw, honest vulnerability is exactly what will rescue someone else. When you boldly share how I brought you out of the dark pit, you hand a bright, glowing flashlight to someone who is currently trapped in that exact same darkness. I invite you to step entirely out of your safe, comfortable silence. I am deeply calling you into the absolute boldness of your true calling. When you walk into your office tomorrow, I want you to intentionally look for the person who feels entirely overlooked. Speak a word of genuine, warm encouragement directly into their spirit. When your family is sitting around the dinner table complaining about the state of the world, I want you to boldly shift the entire conversation toward deep gratitude and real hope. Develop a tongue that constantly brings fresh life, deep healing, and powerful encouragement to every single room you enter. Refuse to participate in the toxic, negative chatter of the world. Do not ever underestimate the massive impact one single soul could have when they actively speak my heart. You do not need a massive public platform, a popular podcast, or 1 million followers to change the world. You only need to be deeply obedient with the very next conversation you have. I have placed a brilliant, burning light deep inside of you. I am commanding you to stop covering that bright light with a heavy basket of fear and insecurity. Open your mouth and let my love pour out of you. Speak absolute life over your children. Speak bold courage over your friends. Your specific voice is a necessary, beautiful instrument in my grand symphony, and I am asking you to start playing your part loudly and clearly today. Take a deep breath and let go of your intense financial panic. I see you sitting there, opening your banking app, staring at the painfully low numbers on your digital screen. I feel the exact knot of deep fear tightening in your stomach as you look at the rising prices in the grocery store. You are constantly calculating, constantly stressing, and constantly worrying about how you will pay the next heavy bill. You are entirely focused on your own limited, earthly bank account. Today, I am commanding you to dramatically shift your terrified focus away from your small, empty pockets and look directly at my massive, overflowing heavenly storehouses. I am the great provider, and my economy is never, ever in a recession. I want you to remember the incredible miracle of the small loaves and the few fishes. A tiny, insignificant lunch was placed directly into my hands, and it completely fed thousands of hungry people with baskets of food left over. That same exact miracle is quietly repeating in your daily life right now, but you are too distracted by your panic to see it. I have actively stretched your dollars. I have completely provided unexpected checks in the mail, and I have given you incredible favor that money cannot buy. I am inviting you to stop acting like a desperate orphan begging for scraps on the cold street. You are my beloved child. I want you to ask for your daily bread with the absolute, confident expectation of a deeply loving, wealthy Father. My divine provision is not strictly limited to paying your financial bills. I absolutely provide for your deep emotional and spiritual needs just as powerfully. When you wake up feeling completely empty and emotionally burned out, I will pour fresh, warm oil over your exhausted mind. When you lack the deep patience required to handle your rebellious child, I will immediately deposit a wealth of calm directly into your spirit. I do not just give you basic resources, I give you the sharp, divine wisdom required to perfectly manage the time, the energy, and the money I currently entrust to you. I am completely breaking the heavy, suffocating spirit of lack off your life right now. You have lived with a strict poverty mindset for far too long, always expecting the other shoe to drop, always waiting for the money to entirely run out. I command you to aggressively embrace the beautiful spirit of divine abundance. This does not mean you will never face a tight budget, but it absolutely means you will never face it alone. I promise to carefully sustain you. I promise to constantly provide exactly what you need, right when you deeply need it. Walk confidently into the grocery store, walk boldly into your workplace, and live your daily life entirely free from the heavy, choking chains of financial terror. Because I am your great, overflowing provider. I am entirely shattering the heavy chains of financial lack in your life right now. I am directly asking you to place your earthly seed boldly into my eternal hands, just like the tiny loaves and fishes, so I can dramatically feed millions of starving souls. You are absolutely not here by accident. I specifically brought you here to partner with me in this massive, global harvest. I decree that when you bring your faithful offering into this digital storehouse, I will aggressively rebuke the devourer for your sake and completely shield your earthly income. Your urgent support through a super thanks, a channel membership, where the PayPal link below literally carries my saving truth to desperate people permanently trapped in total darkness. I will multiply your generous gift and pour an absolute, undeniable abundance directly into your lap. Do not ignore this powerful, prophetic invitation to massively change the world. Take immediate action. Click the support button in the description now, and watch me do the utterly impossible with your faith. Are you still closely listening to me? My child, do not let the loud, toxic distractions of this world suddenly pull you away from this exact, holy moment. It literally brings tears to my eyes when I prepare a massive, overflowing feast of provision for you, and you walk away before the final course. I am aggressively pouring out my very heart to you today. With beg the sacred stays. Stay entirely anchored to my words, because what I am about to tell you will completely, permanently shatter the final chains holding you back. Stop thinking that worship is just a slow song you sing on a Sunday morning. You treat my presence like a weekly appointment you cross off your busy calendar. You sit in a comfortable chair for an hour, listen to some music, and then you completely leave me behind when you walk out the double doors. You go back to your stressful house, you yell at your family, and you complain bitterly about washing the dirty dishes or mowing the overgrown lawn. I am directly stepping into your daily routine today to completely shatter that small, religious box. I am commanding you to make true worship your entire, breathing lifestyle, not just a Sunday ritual. True worship happens in the quiet, hidden, messy moments of your very real life. It happens when you are sitting in frustrating traffic, and instead of angrily hitting the steering wheel, you choose to quietly thank me for the reliable car you are driving. It happens when you are folding a massive pile of laundry, and instead of complaining about the endless chores, you thank me for the healthy family that wears those clothes. I invite you to completely change your daily attitude. A deep, genuine attitude of gratitude actively opens the massive windows of heaven directly over your specific life. It completely shifts the heavy, dark atmosphere of your physical home. When you walk into your living room and feel thick tension, I want you to immediately start speaking words of praise. Your verbal praise violently pushes the darkness entirely out of the room. I am calling you into the deep, sweet intimacy found only in the secret place of personal prayer and quiet adoration. I want to talk to you while you are drinking your morning coffee. I want to walk closely with you while you take your evening stroll. You do not need fancy, religious words to talk to me. I want your raw, honest, and filtered heart. I'm asking you to intentionally offer your daily, normal life as a living, breathing sacrifice, holy and deeply pleasing to me. When you work hard at your job with a positive attitude, you are worshiping me. When you patiently listen to a hurting friend, you are actively worshiping me. There is a massive, unexplainable joy that is only completely found in my immediate presence. When you truly seek my face instead of just desperately seeking my handouts, your entire inner world completely changes. A lot of people sing empty psalms, but one truly grateful heart completely changes the spiritual atmosphere. I want your heart to be incredibly soft, profoundly grateful, and constantly turned directly toward my face. Start right now. Stop what you are doing, take a deep breath, and softly whisper a simple thank you into the quiet air. Let your entire life become a beautiful, endless song of deep worship to the Father who deeply adores you. Place your hand gently over your chest right now and take a very deep, slow breath. I want you to completely understand the massive, living power that resides directly inside your very being. You constantly walk around feeling utterly completely empty, completely drained, and completely exhausted. Simply repeating the word or phrase will give it more attention and make it more embedded and easy to remember. So, remember this clearly. You are completely equipped. You are entirely filled. You are never, ever operating on empty. I did not just save you from your dark past and then leave you completely alone to struggle through your daily life. I placed my very own spirit, the ultimate divine counselor, permanently inside your human heart. This is not some distant, spooky ghost. This is my very real, extremely powerful presence living, breathing, and actively moving inside your daily reality. I know exactly what happens when you lock yourself in the quiet bathroom just to cry because the heavy pressure of your life feels entirely impossible to bear. I see you sitting on the cold floor, unable to even form a simple sentence to pray. You feel like you are completely out of words. But I am telling you right now, you do not need perfect words. When you do not have the vocabulary to explain your deep pain, my spirit actively steps in and powerfully intercedes directly for you. My spirit takes your silent tears, your heavy sighs, and your deep, unspoken groans, and translates them into perfect, beautiful prayers directly before my heavenly throne. You are never praying alone. I'm praying through you, for you, and with you. I command you to actively start tapping into this massive, supernatural power today. You keep trying to patiently parent your stubborn teenager using only your own limited, human patience. You keep trying to forgive that person who deeply hurt you using only your own human grace. I'm telling you that you simply cannot do it alone. You need my supernatural patience. You need my supernatural grace. I am heavily inviting you to be completely led by my spirit in every single decision you make, whether it is a massive career change or simply deciding how to gently answer your frustrated spouse. Stop relying on your own tired brain. Lean entirely on the infinite, brilliant wisdom of the counselor living inside you. Do you want to see the solid, undeniable evidence of my deep work inside your life? Look closely for the beautiful fruits of my spirit. When you feel a sudden wave of deep peace in the middle of a terrifying medical diagnosis, that is my spirit completely overriding your human panic. When you find the strange, quiet strength to be incredibly kind to a rude coworker, that is the warm fire of my spirit actively burning away your natural anger. I am completely cleansing your heart and powerfully empowering your daily walk. Step confidently out of your bathroom, dry your tired eyes, and walk boldly back into your messy life today. You carry the absolute, supreme power of the Creator of the universe directly inside your chest. Use it. Look closely at the people sitting around you in your community, your workplace, and your local church. You constantly look at other people and immediately fall into the dark, heavy trap of bitter comparison. You scroll through social media on your phone and completely convince yourself that everyone else has a much more important calling than you do. You think your own life is completely boring, completely broken, and completely useless to my kingdom. I am commanding you to instantly shatter that toxic, destructive lie today. You are an absolutely vital, irreplaceable piece of a much larger, beautiful puzzle. If you completely remove yourself from the board, the entire picture remains permanently unfinished. I have specifically and carefully deposited completely unique, deeply powerful gifts directly into your soul. You might not be a famous speaker standing on a bright stage. You might not write books that sell 1 million copies. I've told you 1 million times not to exaggerate. But this is not an exaggeration. Your specific, quiet role is absolutely essential to my global mission. Maybe your unique gift is the warm, inviting way you make a lonely stranger feel entirely welcome at your dinner table. Maybe your incredible gift is the quiet, steady way you patiently listen to a heartbroken friend who just needs a safe place to cry. I honor the diverse, quiet, and absolutely ordinary ways I actively work through my deeply loved people. Do not ever minimize the massive impact of your small, faithful obedience. I am heavily inviting you to immediately move away from bitter competition and step directly toward beautiful, kingdom collaboration. Stop trying to outshine your brothers and sisters. Stop feeling secretly jealous when your friend gets the exact promotion you were desperately praying for. Your ultimate success does not ever diminish your divine calling. We are building a massive, eternal kingdom together, not running a selfish, human race against each other. I want you to deeply experience the incredible blessing of genuine fellowship. You were never, ever designed to carry the heavy burdens of your life entirely by yourself. The massive strength you are desperately looking for is often found right inside the unity of my people. Your specific, messy, completely imperfect story fills a massive gap in my beautiful plan. There is someone in your exact city who desperately needs to hear exactly how you survived your massive financial collapse or your terrifying battle with severe depression. No one else can connect with them the exact way you can. I am commanding you to completely stop hiding in the dark shadows of your own deep insecurity. Step entirely into your completely unique space today. Own your beautiful story. Embrace your specific gifts. Walk into your community with absolute confidence, knowing that you bring something absolutely necessary and completely beautiful to the table. I designed you exactly for this specific assignment. Pay very close attention to the quiet thoughts passing through your mind right now. You assume that every single thought in your head is your own. You think the sudden wave of deep insecurity, the sharp spike of dark jealousy, or the sudden, overwhelming urge to completely give up are just natural human emotions. I am telling you today to completely wake up to the massive spiritual reality around you. The enemy actively uses a very specific, quiet trick. He carefully disguises his dark, toxic lies to sound exactly like your own inner voice. I am commanding you to aggressively learn how to identify these subtle lies before they deeply poison your heart. Listen closely to how the accuser speaks. He will quietly whisper, "You are a total failure," or "Your spouse does not actually love you," or "You will absolutely never recover from this massive debt." When you hear these condemning, heavy whispers, I want you to instantly stop and hold them up directly to the bright light of my word. Do these thoughts perfectly align with my unconditional love? Do they sound like the gentle, warm voice of your Father? If they bring heavy shame, deep panic, or dark confusion, they are absolutely not from me. I am heavily inviting you to actively rebuff the accuser of the brethren using my absolute, righteous truth. You must sharply answer back. Speak completely out loud and confidently say, "I violently reject that dark lie. My Father says I am deeply loved and entirely secure." I am commanding you to carefully guard your soft heart against the heavy, toxic weeds of deep bitterness, green envy, and cold pride. The enemy desperately wants to plant a tiny seed of offense in your heart when someone fails to thank you or when someone cuts you off in heavy traffic. If you do not quickly pull that tiny weed out, it will rapidly grow into a massive, choking bush of deep bitterness that completely destroys your inner peace. The importance of sharp, spiritual discernment in these changing, difficult times cannot be overstated. You must actively stay incredibly vigilant, watching the doors and windows of your mind. If you realize you have already let the enemy into your thoughts, do not panic. Simply close the heavy doors entirely through quick repentance and my totally free grace. Say to me, Father, I agreed with the dark lie of fear today. I completely repent. Wash my mind clean, and I will instantly wash it completely clean. I want you to walk through your completely normal day remaining totally rooted in my overwhelming, unshakable peace. Do not be terrified of the enemy. He is completely defeated. But do not be foolishly ignorant of his quiet tricks either. Stand up straight, actively govern your own mind, and confidently close the heavy door on the enemy today. Take your tired hands completely off the heavy steering wheel of your life right now. You are entirely exhausted because you have been desperately trying to drive your own car, map your own route, and avoid every single pothole all by yourself. You constantly carry the massive, crushing weight of trying to control your absolute destiny. You think that deep submission means completely losing your personal freedom. You think that surrendering your grand plans to me means I will make your life completely boring, absolutely miserable, and entirely difficult. I am completely dismantling that massive lie today. I am inviting you to aggressively find your true, absolute freedom by completely surrendering your exhausting plans for mine. I want you to heavily visualize this truth. You are carrying a massive, heavy backpack filled with giant rocks. Every rock is a decision you have to make, a problem you have to solve, or a family member you are desperately trying to fix. I am commanding you to take that heavy, breaking backpack completely off your tired shoulders right now and drop it heavily directly at my feet. The profound relief of no longer having to carry the entire world on your tiny, human shoulders is absolutely massive. Discover today that my divine yoke is incredibly easy and my specific burden is truly light. I never asked you to be the general manager of the entire universe. I only asked you to be my deeply trusting child. There is an absolute, beautiful safety found completely within the strict boundaries of my loving commandments. When I tell you to completely forgive your enemies or to strictly flee from toxic temptation, I am not trying to angrily restrict your fun. I am aggressively trying to actively protect your vulnerable heart from massive, devastating pain. My rules are absolutely not a dark prison. They are a safe, solid fortress specifically built to keep the dangerous wolves entirely out. I am heavily inviting you to bravely make the most powerful, life-changing prayer a human being can ever make. Say it with me right now. Not my will, but yours be entirely done. When you finally pray that bold prayer and completely mean it, the heavy anxiety violently leaves your body. You do not have to nervously worry about the complicated job interview tomorrow. You just do your best, completely submit the final result to me, and entirely go to sleep in perfect peace. If you get the job, it is my will. If you do not get the job, it is my protective will. The massive, beautiful rewards of total obedience will actively manifest in this current life and deeply in the eternal next. Breathe in my light, easy air today. Stop violently fighting against my gentle hand. Complete surrender is not a bitter defeat. It is your ultimate, glorious victory. As you completely surrender your exhausting plans for my perfect will, I am absolutely calling you to fiercely align your earthly resources directly with my kingdom's massive heartbeat. Your presence here is a completely deliberate, divine appointment to actively help me rescue millions who are entirely crushed under the heavy weight of this world. I am speaking this profound truth over your spirit today. Where you boldly plant your treasure, your beautiful heart will be permanently anchored to me. When you radically give through a super thanks, a membership, or PayPal today, you are actively laying down solid, golden stepping stones for completely lost souls to find their way safely back home. I will actively reward your total obedience with massive, unshakable peace and a rich, eternal inheritance that absolutely no storm can ever destroy. This is a critical, highly urgent hour for humanity, and I desperately need your specific voice and your specific seed right now. Step boldly out of the boat of deep fear. Click the support button in the description entirely by faith, and let us massively change eternity together. We are so incredibly close to the absolute summit today. I strictly urge you, do not drop your spiritual sword right now. It deeply wounds my loving heart when you boldly survive the heaviest, darkest storms, only to completely fall asleep right before the massive victory is announced. Give me your absolute, fierce attention for these final, crucial moments. The eternal weight of what I am about to speak directly over your future is far too great to miss. Do not walk away from your Father now. Finish this powerful journey with me to the very end. Smile directly at your current circumstances right now. Yes, even in the absolute middle of your frustrating mess, your massive debt, and your physical exhaustion, I heavily command you to genuinely smile. I want to aggressively talk to you about reclaiming your deep, spiritual joy. You have completely allowed the heavy, dark world to entirely steal your smile. You desperately chase temporary, cheap happiness like a child chasing a fast sugar rush. You think you will finally be happy when you buy the new car, when you get the bigger house, or when the weekend finally arrives. But that cheap happiness evaporates by Monday morning. I am entirely distinguishing between your fleeting, temporary happiness and my massive, eternal joy. My deep joy is entirely independent of your crazy, unpredictable circumstances. It is a massive, solid anchor dropped deep into the bottom of the raging ocean. The surface of your daily life might be completely chaotic with loud, crashing waves of bad news and heavy stress, but deep down at the bottom, your soul is entirely still, totally safe, and incredibly joyful. I am heavily inviting you to draw your daily strength directly from this eternal joy. I want you to practically apply this to your physical body. A merry, joyful heart actively acts as incredibly good, powerful medicine for your tired, physical body. Your constant, heavy stress is making you physically sick. My deep, pure joy will actively bring profound healing to your very bones. I am heavily commanding you to boldly look at your terrifying, unknown future and actually laugh at it. Laugh directly at the future, not because it is completely easy, but because you absolutely know exactly who strictly holds it in his strong hands. When the loud enemy whispers that your entire life is completely falling apart, I want you to laugh out loud and firmly say, "My Father has completely got this." I want you to violently reclaim the beautiful wonder and deep awe of simply being alive in my beautiful creation. Stop rushing past the warm, bright sunrise. Stop ignoring the beautiful, loud laughter of your children. These are massive, daily gifts directly from my hand. I want you to aggressively allow my pure joy to be the absolute, driving fuel for your daily, normal service. When you go to work tomorrow, do not drag your feet like a miserable, defeated prisoner. Walk into your office with a massive, unshakable joy that makes your stressed coworkers completely confused. They will intensely wonder how you can be so incredibly peaceful in such a chaotic world. Your deep, authentic joy is the greatest, loudest testimony you could ever possibly give. Stop desperately waiting for your hard circumstances to completely change before you decide to rejoice. Reclaim your pure, unshakable joy today, completely independent of the heavy storm entirely around you. Look directly at the far horizon of your life today. I want you to completely shift your exhausted vision away from the dirt right in front of your feet. You are entirely consumed by the heavy, massive struggles of your temporary Tuesday. You look at your stressful calendar, you look at your aging physical body, and you feel the sharp pain of temporary afflictions. I am commanding you to aggressively keep your tired eyes focused entirely on the massive, eternal prize of your high calling in Christ. I am heavily inviting you to step completely out of your tiny, temporary timeline and step directly into my massive, eternal perspective. I know your current pain feels completely overwhelming. You feel like you are desperately carrying a literal mountain of heavy stress on your human back. People say, "I've told you a million times not to exaggerate," but your pain truly feels like an exaggeration of suffering. I see it, and I deeply validate your very real tears. However, I want to draw a massive, powerful contrast for you today. We pay more attention to contrasts, so it sticks longer in the listener's memory. Look at the direct opposite of your current pain, your eternal glory. The deep, heavy sorrows you are experiencing in this current, broken world are actually very light, incredibly momentary afflictions when compared directly to the massive, heavy weight of eternal glory that is actively being produced inside you. I want you to remember that this entire earthly life is absolutely nothing but a tiny, vanishing vapor in the massive, endless light of bright eternity. You are desperately stressing over situations that will not matter at all in 10,000 years. I command you to gently release your tight grip on the things that are completely temporary. I want you to aggressively start living your normal, daily life entirely for the ultimate, eternal finish line. I want you to deeply imagine the exact moment you finally cross over into my heavenly kingdom. Imagine standing directly in front of my brilliant throne. You can't see a thing, you're shivering with absolute awe. Then you feel something warm wrapping around you, and you hear my loud, joyful voice echoing through the massive halls of heaven, saying, "Well done, my good and incredibly faithful servant." I want that specific, beautiful phrase to be the absolute, driving motivation for every single thing you do today. I am entirely assuring you that your small, seemingly insignificant actions today actively ripple directly into the vast corridors of forever. When you choose to forgive your bitter enemy today, it echoes in eternity. When you quietly serve your difficult family with real patience, you are actively storing up massive, eternal treasures. I am heavily inviting you to deeply embrace the massive, unshakable hope of the final resurrection. This powerful hope is the exact anchor that totally sustains you through every single devastating loss, every painful funeral, and every broken dream. You have absolutely lost loved ones, and your heart is completely shattered. But I violently defeated death itself so that your goodbye is entirely temporary. I promise you a beautiful, eternal reunion. Stand up incredibly tall today. Walk forward with the massive, unshakable confidence of someone who completely knows that their ultimate victory is entirely, permanently secured. Keep your eyes locked strictly on eternity. I am constantly holding you, constantly loving you, and constantly preparing you for a completely beautiful, massive future that will entirely erase all the heavy pain of your past. Step entirely out of the dark, dusty tomb of your painful past right now. I am looking directly at the heavy, rotting grave clothes you are still choosing to wear. These dirty clothes are made of your former mistakes, your massive financial failures, and the deep, toxic shame you constantly carry. I forcefully command you to completely unwrap those dead, heavy garments and throw them directly onto the floor. I have aggressively called you out of the dark grave, so why are you still dressing like a dead person, I am heavily inviting you to powerfully embrace the absolute new thing that I am actively doing right inside your life at this exact second. You are completely forgiven, completely clean, and completely brand new. I want you to aggressively experience the massive power of my fresh morning mercies. Every single time the warm sun rises, I am handing you a completely blank, beautiful canvas. I do not constantly drag yesterday's muddy mistakes into today's bright sunshine. So I strictly command you to stop doing it yourself. Leave your heavy regrets permanently in the past where they belong. I also command you to completely leave behind the loud, toxic opinions of the people who only ever knew your old self. They look at you and repeatedly say, "You will never, never, never change." Simply repeating the word or phrase will give it more attention and make it more embedded and easy to remember. To hear my divine repetition instead, you are changed, you are changed, you are completely changed. You are not the exact same angry, broken person you were 10 years ago. Do not let small-minded people lock you inside a tiny box of their own limited memories. I am heavily commanding you to actively transform your tired mind. Stop thinking the exact same negative, defeated thoughts you thought yesterday. I want you to boldly think the massive, victorious thoughts of heaven. When your mind says, "I am totally stuck," I want you to instantly say, "I am completely free." I am actively rewiring your entire brain right now to see this dark world strictly through the beautiful, bright lens of ultimate redemption and massive hope. You must absolutely stop looking at your difficult spouse as an annoying burden and start looking at them as a broken soul who desperately needs my grace. You must stop looking at your exhausting job as a terrible curse and start seeing it as your specific, divine mission field. I deeply invite you to fully walk in the massive, vibrant newness of real life. Breathe in the incredibly fresh air of complete forgiveness. You are not desperately walking around with a heavy ball and chain attached to your ankle anymore. I completely shattered those rusty chains when I died for you. I want you to deeply understand that true freedom requires massive action on your part. I command you to stop returning to the dark prison cell after I have already blown the heavy iron doors completely off their hinges. You are absolutely free. I am actively inviting you to actively step forward into today with a massive, genuine smile on your face. You are my beautiful, totally redeemed child, and your future is incredibly, unbelievably bright. Walk with extreme confidence today, entirely clothed in the brilliant, glowing garments of my perfect righteousness. Your absolute best days are completely, entirely ahead of you. Do not look back at the dark tomb ever again. I am constantly doing a new thing, and I want you to completely recognize it today. Look entirely at the heavy dark soil of your current life right now. I see every single tear you have desperately cried in the dark hours of the night. I know the massive, heavy pain you feel when you constantly pray for a loved one who continues to violently reject me. I know the sheer exhaustion of actively doing the absolute right thing when it feels like everything in your life is going completely wrong. You feel like you are completely wasting your time. But I am strictly declaring to you today, you are actively planting massive, powerful seeds. I promise you that the tiny seeds you have desperately sown in deep, bitter tears will absolutely, undeniably reap a massive, overwhelming harvest of pure joy. Your painful tears are actually heavily watering the exact miracle you are desperately waiting for. I am deeply calling you to recognize your massive responsibility as a powerful laborer in my vast, global vineyard. You are not just a passive spectator sitting quietly in the back row of my kingdom. I specifically hired you to actively work in my field. I am heavily commanding you to aggressively sharpen your spiritual tools for the coming season of massive increase. You sharpen your tools by deeply studying my word, by fiercely praying in the quiet mornings, and by aggressively loving the deeply unlovable people around you. You must actively prepare your physical and mental capacity right now, because a massive wave of divine harvest is rapidly approaching your exact address. I heavily command you to absolutely not grow weary in your constant well-doing. I know your human body is incredibly tired. I know your mind is completely fried from the daily stress. But do not quit. I command you to never, never, never give up. You are standing exactly 1 single inch away from a massive, explosive breakthrough. The beautiful season of heavy reaping is incredibly near. I want you to powerfully realize that there are actual, living human souls completely attached directly to your specific obedience and your specific yes. If you quit right now, the specific people I assigned you to rescue will remain entirely stuck in the dark. Your complete obedience is absolutely critical. I deeply invite you to actively expect the massive, rushing overflow of my divine blessings to completely spill onto everyone around you. I do not just want to barely bless you with enough for yourself. I absolutely want to bless you so incredibly heavily that the excess grace, the extra finances, and the massive peace literally run down your arms and splash onto your family, your neighbors, and your coworkers. You are designed to be a massive, flowing river, not a tiny, stagnant pond. I am entirely opening the floodgates over your specific life. Pick up your heavy shovel. Wipe the tired sweat off your forehead. Keep aggressively planting, keep constantly loving, and keep boldly trusting. Your massive, beautiful harvest is absolutely guaranteed by my eternal word. I am absolutely turning your heavy, painful mourning into massive, joyful dancing. I am completely trading your heavy ashes for a massive, beautiful crown of pure beauty. Step boldly into the field today. Listen incredibly closely to my final, powerful charge to your deeply beloved soul today. I want to aggressively summarize my massive, eternal commitment directly to you. I will absolutely never, ever leave you, and I will absolutely never, ever forsake you. Even when you completely mess up, even when you violently run in the opposite direction, and even when you entirely fail to trust me, I am permanently standing directly by your side. My love for you is completely unbreakable, completely unshakable, and absolutely eternal. I am firmly placing my strong, warm hands entirely on your tired shoulders right now. I am heavily commanding you to boldly carry this massive, blazing light directly into the darkest, most terrifying corners of this broken world. Do not hide my beautiful love. Do not keep this massive peace entirely to yourself. I am officially releasing a massive, divine blessing completely over your entire life right now. I strictly command complete, total healing to powerfully flood your physical health. I boldly declare that every single cell in your human body must absolutely align with my perfect, divine design. I actively bless your tired, racing mind with profound, supernatural clarity and massive, total peace. I specifically command the heavy, dark spirits of deep anxiety and severe depression to permanently flee from your physical household right now. I speak total, divine order directly over your finances, your marriage, and your deeply loved children. Your physical home is now heavily fortified, deeply protected sanctuary of my pure, holy presence. I want you to completely trust the absolute assurance that I am aggressively walking with you until the very end of the age. You are absolutely never walking into a difficult meeting alone. You are never sitting in a terrifying hospital waiting room alone. You are absolutely never crying in the dark entirely alone. I am actively inviting you to completely recognize that your departure from this specific, holy moment marks you as a profoundly changed and divinely sent individual. You are absolutely not the exact same frightened, exhausted person who started reading this exact message. You are fully empowered. You are deeply restored. You are a massive, powerful threat to the enemy's dark kingdom. My precious, precious child, I give you this final, beautiful invitation. I invite you to completely and totally rest in the massive, absolute knowledge that you are entirely, perfectly loved. Let your tight shoulders permanently drop. Unclench your tired, tight jaw. Take one final, incredibly deep breath of my massive grace. The heavy, exhausting battle is entirely mine, and the ultimate, glorious victory is absolutely yours. Go aggressively forward today completely in my mighty name. Step powerfully into your messy, beautiful life with a massive, unshakable smile. I am your absolute protector, your great provider, and your incredibly loving Father. I fiercely love you, I deeply see you, and I am incredibly proud of exactly who you are becoming. The entire universe is constantly supported by my hands, but my eyes are completely, intimately fixed directly upon your face. Go now, and absolutely shine my massive light completely into the dark world. You are entirely ready, my beloved warrior, as I command you to powerfully carry my blazing light into the terrifying darkness. I am also deeply commissioning you to directly fuel the very fire of this ministry. You absolutely did not hear this life-changing message by accident. I sent this strictly to you so you could quickly become an active, massive catalyst for someone else's ultimate salvation. I am passionately inviting you to immediately lock shields with me and ensure this specific, prophetic word loudly reaches every single broken corner of the earth. I legally promise you right now, the generous seed you actively sow will absolutely become a raging, beautiful wildfire of ultimate hope, and I will radically multiply your personal territory in return. Sending your faithful support through a super thanks, a channel membership, where the PayPal link entirely ensures that the massive, dark gates of hell will never, ever silence this divine truth. The time for hesitant, quiet waiting is completely over. The urgent hour for bold, kingdom action is right this very second. I heavily command you to let your brilliant light shine. Click the PayPal link in the description or the super thanks button right now, and go aggressively forward in my mighty name. My precious child, do not simply walk away from this divine appointment, because you are absolutely not here by accident today. I am drawing a direct contrast between the heavy shadows of your doubt and the blazing light of your true purpose so it sticks longer in your memory. If you completely receive my message and you are finally ready to break the chains of aimlessness, I command you to make a bold, public declaration right now. Step forward and type this exact phrase in the comments below. I am absolutely here on purpose, and I accept my divine assignment. Declare it deeply, declare it boldly, and declare it completely, because simply repeating the phrase will give it more attention and make it more embedded and easy to remember in your daily life. Claim your beautiful destiny today, and watch me completely transform your entire world. Amen.